All right. Very good morning or good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, ladies and gentlemen, from the controller scopes once again. It's been a little while since I've had a chance to do this, but yeah, we are going to go and do some controlling today. Something we have not done in a while. On stream, I don't think I've done it for, uh, we're looking at the better part of a month, anyways. It may well be that the last time I controlled on stream was Cross the Pond, which is way too long ago. But it's just been that kind of busy couple of weeks. May especially was ridiculously busy. Um, yeah, welcome to welcome back to the stream, everybody. And let's see if we can't get ourselves some airplanes here to talk to. So today we are hanging out here in Edmonton Center. It's been a little while since I've done Edmonton. The thing I like about Edmonton is it's big. It is literally almost half the country of Canada is covered by the Edmonton FIR, maybe more than half the country. Um, you just don't even get you just can't even believe how big it is from one end of this FIR to the other. But to use a distance tool, this is how many miles? 1,800. You can potentially fly almost 2,200 miles through my airspace here. Literally 5 to 6 hours of flying before you reach the end of my airspace, depending on the different dimensions. So yeah, it's a very impressive piece of airspace. I do enjoy controlling it. I don't get to do it a whole lot. I don't get to do any controlling a lot lately. Summer is upon us. What can I say? Summer is upon us. It's a great time of year to be. It's a great time of year to be Canadian. It's a great time of year to be Canadian. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's been the weather's gotten quite nice the last couple of weeks. I've also had vacation the last couple of weeks, which is part of the reason why contributed to me not being online very much. Yeah, I've just been on vacation, so I have been very busy. Just doing stuff around the house, kind of getting stuff. You think, vacation, I'd be more time online, but actually the opposite is true. I tend to use my vacation to kind of get projects done. So doing things like opening up the pool, um, opening up the pool and cleaning up the yard and the garden, and dealing with automotive stuff. Just like a dozen and a half projects, and this month especially has been crazy. We've had quite a number of special occasions in our family in the last month, so it has made trying to find time to stream very challenging. The reason why I took the vacation when I did is because I was trying to get I was trying to get the time off I needed to do to make sure I was ready for all these special occasions, having people over to our house and cleaning everything up and getting it all ready, and all sorts of other projects. So tons of kind of stuff going on. It seems to have. I think we've kind of petered off now. Now I'm basically back to work, and we'll see how that goes. But we're back to work, so it might be hectic for a little while here. But anyways, yeah, that gives me some chance to get online and control. I don't know how much necessarily. I'm going to try to do it, and I'm going to try and do a flying stream next week if I can, or maybe this weekend, Sunday, Monday, maybe. I don't know 100% if I can do it on either of those days, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get it done on either Sunday or Monday. Maybe Monday afternoon, I might be able to do that flight. It's a bit of a long one, the next one. It's Portland down to DFW, Dallas, Fort Worth. So it's a good like 3 hour jaunt. It's not a short stream, so I will see. I'm thinking maybe Monday afternoon might be a good time to do it, but I have to sort of make some plans. See what the family's kind of if has anything in store for the holiday. Anyway, so in the meantime, just hoping that some airplanes show up here. I do have one airplane flying through my airspace. He does not want to call me. Not terribly surprising. And then I've got to also figure out what am I doing here in, let's see here, Calgary. We're doing the 17s. There's Calgary. And then, let's see here. No, that's not it. 20? Yeah. Wait, 20 is this one. Yeah. So, departing 12, arriving 20, I believe is what I've advertised here on the ATIS.
Edmonton, hello, Air Sprint 420 at flight level 430.
Air Sprint 420, Edmonton, good afternoon. Squawk code 0552.
0552, Air Sprint 420.
And I realize that he's quite quiet, so I'm going to turn him way up. He sounds good to me, but I'm going to turn him up a bit so you guys can hear him more clearly. I might turn up my own volume a little bit so If that gets too loud, I apologize. I'm going to just this is the first airplane I've talked to today, so I'm just trying to kind of find the balance in the stream, make sure it's good. Airstream, Air Sprint 420 Edmonton, thank you. You're identified at flight level 430. Welcome aboard.
Roger, thanks.
All right, that is probably about a bit more reasonable. The key is to kind of get their volume to match mine more or less. So it's not crazy. There's not a crazy differential between our volume and their volumes. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the only airplane I have right now. I do have this one Bell 407 on the ground, CDK2, CDK2. I don't even know where CDK2 is. It is somewhere way up in the northern sector there. Wait. All right, it's somewhere here northeast of Yellowknife. I don't know what CDK2 is, but it's off here. It's this guy right there. So I'll figure that out in a minute. So let's just get there we go. Edmonton as well is up there, and I could throw up another ATIS somewhere. I got 2 ATISes online already. Let's see if we can't throw up a third just to make life a little more interesting and give people something to do, give them a reason to tune in. All right, let's see here. So where else? The one that I usually end up liking to do is Fort Mac. It seems to be a pretty popular one. Yellowknife as well is also pretty popular. Let's see here. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say 26. 320 at 9. Yeah, that'll do. And the other one usually tossed up between Whitehorse and Yellowknife. Yellowknife tends to get quite a bit more traffic, so I go Yellowknife here. Let's try 16 and see what it says. Could probably remove the runway surface conditions. That just shows you how long since I've actually operated this sector. There were runway surface conditions the last time I operated this sector. So let's go 34 then. All right, so now I've got some ATISes up for everybody. So I've got 34 in Yellowknife, 26 in Fort Mac, Edmonton. Yeah, there we go. So now we got some ATISes online here. We do have Vancouver Center online, which is great, and Anchorage Center is online. So we got Vancouver and Anchorage, so our western boundaries are covered here. Nobody to the south of us right now, but hey, our western boundaries are covered, so take what you can get. What I'm hoping is, of course, with a couple of hours, and I've got probably about 3 hours here at my disposal tonight, we'll get some traffic in here before too long. Seems a little bit quiet right now. I did try to advertise the stream a little bit, but yeah, it's Friday night. Hopefully this means, and I'm here at a good time. I think I'm here at 23Z, so 7 p.m. Eastern time in North America. So basically everybody's getting off work for Friday nights. Hopefully I'll grab some of this traffic. But I have noticed, maybe it's me, but it seems like the VATSIM network is kind of quieter lately than it has been. And that's not unexpected for this time of year. It's summer, especially for Canada, especially for VATCAN. For the Northern Hemisphere, which is probably where most of VATSIMers are from, honestly, United States, Canada, and Europe kind of covers almost all the VATSIMers. And that's not to say that to the exclusion of anybody else in particular, but it's just there's a larger middle class with the disposable income to have PCs and this sort of thing. And yeah, summer is just dawning after winter was not long. Winter was not long, but it was cold at times. It is depressing sometimes just being in winter in Canada. It's like you just want to go outside and spend time outside, and you want to, but you don't feel inclined to because it's just so cold. So it's nice to see. It's nice to see the warm weather finally make a comeback. So here's hoping that we get. Here's hoping that it sticks with us for a little while, and here's hoping we get some traffic though. I'm hoping I picked the right time. I kind of had a bit of choice time today. I was kind of doing some projects, so I was working on my AT or not, on my Embraer tutorials. So I've got one more tutorial that I really want to get out there, and that is, of course, the after landing and shutdown. It's not particularly complicated, so it actually probably won't take me too long to put together. I finally got a chance to start working on it today. I recorded it like a week ago. But in terms of actually stitching it together, I finally got a chance to stitch it together today, start stitching it together. It'll honestly probably only take me another day or two, and if I can find the time to focus on it. It's not that long a video. It probably won't even top out above 10 minutes. The after landing shutdown. It's not particularly complicated. There's a few neat little tidbits and just otherwise just learning the flows. Uh, the after landing flow is the one that doesn't have a checklist associated with it. It's one of the few flows that really doesn't have a checklist. It's kind of odd because almost every other major flow also is punctuated by a checklist, but in the Embraer, for some reason, I guess at the end of the day, after landing is not a uh, flight critical time. Uh, Even if you forget something after landing, it's most of the stuff is pretty minor. It's more like just resetting the stuff for the next flight, which hopefully people are going to go through and see the when they go to set up the next flight, they'll see anything that was out of place. Um, it's just cleanup. Nothing in the after landing stuff is really flight critical. That's why there's no after landing checklist. Just a flow. If an item gets missed, it'll get covered anyways in the shutdown checklist. Uh, yeah, it's mostly cleanup. So it's not long. I think it's 6 or 7 items, and then the shutdown checklist is similarly 6 or 7 items long. It's not particularly long. So yeah, I'm working on that, and then after that, I'll start working on the next Embraer Systems video. It's not going to be particularly exciting. It's going to be the doors, but it's kind of a sub part of this aircraft general section. So I just want to get all these sub parts. So lighting was kind of a sub part of aircraft general as far as Embraer is concerned, and the doors likewise. So I want to get all the sub parts of aircraft general, and then after that, I've already started writing a script to the electrical system, which is one of the bigger systems in the Embraer. The electrical and hydraulic systems obviously power a lot of other systems. So those are the next two systems I plan to cover, just to kind of cover like the major systems. After that, I'm not sure, probably power plant, something like that. Just again, kind of starting at the source of all the power and then moving towards the different systems that are affected by all this power. So, anyways, that's sort of what we're up against here. Could almost spend my time here just doing it right now in front of you guys because there's not much going on right now. Looks like we got some updated ATISs for Fort Mac and Calgary, or sorry, Fort Mac and Yellowknife, updated slightly. The other ones will probably come online in a moment here too because everything switched over on the hour. But yeah, I've got about 3 hours here, so if anybody is interested in doing some flying, catching some ATC on the VATSIM network, I'm here for about 3 hours. Looks like Vancouver's online. I don't know how long they're on for, in all honesty. Let's have a quick look here, who it even is, and I honestly don't know how long they're planning to stay on, but certainly I've got. I've got about 3 hours in me, so before I have to plan on going to bed to make sure I am up at a reasonable hour to go to work tomorrow. And I had a long day today, so if it gets boring and I tire out, I may pull the plug before that. But I only just logged on 15 minutes ago, so hopefully in the next couple of minutes, everyone will start sort of looking around, saying, "Hey, who's the ATC that's online? Let's go there." Even Toronto online right now doesn't have a whole lot of traffic. It's surprising. Toronto Center's been online for an hour, and even they only have a couple of airplanes on the ground. Not that busy tonight. Now, the one thing that probably is going to kind of throw us for a bit of a loop too, and it's going to be really kind of awkward and weird, is that the FNO this week is actually Hawaii, which apparently does not host the FNO very often. Uh, but yeah, Hawaii's online, but and they basically staffed up the entire chain of the island. So they have they have a number of centers online, but they also have towers, one, two, three, four, five, 6 different towers on throughout the Hawaiian island chain. Um, from let's see here, there's from Kalua uh, and Honolulu and Kahului, Kailakona. Like there's a whole bunch of different towers online. That's a really neat one because the islands are not close together, but they're close enough together that you can do probably a couple flights in pretty short order, and you don't have to go get an airliner. You can definitely take an airliner out, but you can do some really reasonably short flights. One of the really good. Hayden UK, hey, how's it going? One of the really good events I participated in. This was probably about a year ago, but AirSprint 420, contact Vancouver Center now, 133.7. Good night.
Vancouver on 1337, airsprint 420. Have a good date and a good long weekend.
Thanks, you too. Um, yeah, one of the ones I really enjoyed participating in. I don't think it was an FNO, but it was a event that the Denver artsy hosted, where they basically had I don't know if it was a poker run or what it was, but basically they had like a whole chain of GA airports open. So Grand Junction, um, Aspen, uh, Denver, Colorado Springs. They had a whole chain of kind of airports open, and it was perfect for like GA flying. Like they're just close enough that you can kind of, in half an hour, 45 minutes, cover the distance between them if you're, using a faster GA airplane like a King Air or something like that, like a turboprop or something. But it was tons of fun. It was so busy at these kind of smaller airports. You go to these major airports, and unless you have like 100 airplanes on the ground, they don't look busy. But you go to somewhere like Grand Junction, Colorado, and you put 20 airplanes on the ground, 25 airplanes on the ground, the place looks busy. So kind of neat to kind of operate like that, and also just to operate a little bit lower, a little bit slower, sneak in and out of Aspen. That's a really fun airport to get in and out of. A real challenge. It was definitely a lot of fun. So I can see that the Honolulu FNO is it's going to steal probably a lot of traffic from me tonight, because nobody's going to want to fly up from Honolulu all the way over to Calgary. That's like a 5-hour flight. But I think they're going to have a lot of fun down there, just bombing back and forth between the islands. Here I am trying to sell you guys on my on the FNO instead of luring the traffic into myself. I'm also fun. I am also fun, guys. Feel free to hang out with me as well. But yeah, I mean, I wish them good luck. I think they're going to have a good FNO. I think it's going to be great, and yeah, we'll hopefully get some traffic in here. This is just like, yeah, it wasn't necessarily the way I picked it, but it's just like this is a time I actually had available to do some ATC. So here we are. Hopefully it works out for us. We got an airplane here. I don't know where he's going. He's going to Calgary. We do have a WestJet inbound. He's text only though. Well, whatever. Text only, and is still better than nobody at all. This guy's on his way to Anchorage. It's Alaska 139 on his way to Anchorage. That's a long flight too. Where'd he come from? He came from Chicago O'Hare up to Anchorage. That is a long flight. It's got to be 6 or 7 hours. It blows my mind still every day, the commitment some people have to being on the network. And I have not flown even on. I have not connected to the VATSIM network. This is the first time I've connected to the network. Actually, I connected the other night for about 2 hours, hour and a half. But I haven't actually flown on the network, I think, since my last stream, which was like almost 2 weeks ago. Again, just so busy, and for me, like if I don't have 2.5 to 3 hours to put into a flight, I don't feel inclined to do it. I feel like 2.5 to 3 hours is kind of a minimum for me. If I can't spend that much time online to get like a decent flight in there and sit there and really do it properly, because that's my curse in this hobby, is that I use it as a learning tool, and I want to do everything properly, above board as much as possible. So uh, kind of logging in for a 40-minute quick jaunt around, like for crying out loud, it takes 25 to 30 minutes to get the plane off, to get an airliner off the gate. You grab the 737 or the Airbus, you're talking 30 minutes just to get off the gate, just to set the airplane up, just to get off the gate, and then after that, then how long do you have to fly? So yeah. All right, let's see if this guy calls me up here. Pinged him right away. We'll see how it goes. Looks like we got the other ATISes all updated here now, I see. So Fort Mac. So Edmonton's now Bravo. Calgary is now Bravo. Looking good. Oh, of course. I send him a contact me, and he vanishes off the network. Really? Really? But the trouble is, that's me sometimes when I'm flying too. I curse, and I curse at these guys, but that's me. Like oftentimes, like the only way I can find time to fly the network is if I go and kind of log on and start up a flight when I'm doing other things too. When I'm cleaning the house or fold the laundry, doing the dishes, something else like that. So, I start the flight up, I step away for a little while, and then if ATC comes online, I end up having to disconnect because then I'm preoccupied with this task that I'm doing. It's just disappointing though, because we only that was the one airplane I was going to talk to now. Now nobody in range of my airspace. This guy is the next guy who's coming in here, and he won't be here for 1 hour from now. He will not enter my airspace for 1 hour from now, because he's got about 500 miles to go across here. Pretty much 500. So 1 hour till he enters my airspace. So here's hoping some people log on in Calgary and Edmonton, or this is going to be a very, very boring ATC stream, I'm sorry to say. If you guys want to ask any questions right now, now's a good time to ask because there's nothing much going on here right now. Just going to pull up my spaces view here to make sure I have updated weather when I need it. But yeah, right now it's kind of, the whole thing's a bit of a bust right now. So guys, I see a bunch of you watching. If you want to do some flying on the VATSIM network, Edmonton, Calgary is a pretty short jaunt. I think it's usually for most aircraft, it's 40 minutes in the air unless you're picking a pretty slow airplane. Edmonton up to Fort Mac is maybe an hour in the air. There's quite a lot of stuff I could throw up here. I could throw up the Springbank ATIS if somebody logs in there. Right now, my ATISs are um, based on what I think are the most popular airports in the FIR. But that being said, there's also nobody inbound. Actually, stand by. There are some people inbound. There's nobody inbound at the moment, but I do have one inbound to Edmonton is on the ground in Kelowna, and one inbound to Calgary on the ground in Vancouver. So in about an hour, we're going to start to see some airplanes, which will be good. In the meantime, we do have an ATR here. Where is this guy? RT is Resolute Bay, right? Yeah, he's on the ground in Resolute Bay. And I don't know what CYCS is.
Number 272 on the ground at Rankin, radio check.
And calling at Rankin 272, what was the call sign?
Comair.
Oh, Comair 272, region 5.
Roger, Comair 272, request clearance to Chesterfield.
All right, maybe that's me. Seems a little loud now. Comair 272, stand by. Let me just pull up the Resolute Bay weather here. All right, Comair 272. The Resolute Bay winds are showing variable at 2. I got 6 miles in light snow showers, broken at 2,000, and temperature 1, dew point -3, altimeter 2973. And you're cleared to your destination via your flight planned route. Depart the runway of your choice, climb on course, maintain 5,000, squawk 0673. Clearance is valid now. Cancelled if not airborne by 2345 Zulu.
Right, cleared to destination via flight plan route, cleared on course. Maintain 5,000, squawk 0603, clearance void if not off by 2345 Zulu, Comair 272.
Comair 272, very close, the squawk code 0673.
0673, Comair 272.
Comair 272, thanks. The readback is correct information. Sorry, I don't have any ATIS up there. You can switch to the local advisory frequency for the departure. Just give me a call this frequency airborne.
All right, we'll go over to advisory. We'll call you soon, Comair 272.
All right, I realize that voice is overmodulating as I'm looking at the levels here. I was focusing on what I was doing, and I realized at the end of this that he's quite a bit overmodulated, so I'm going to turn that quite a bit down, and hopefully that'll make it a little bit better. All right, let's see here. So I'm just going to pull up my charts now. And I've never seen the ATC side of things on VATSIM, although eventually I'd like to. Do you get weather similar to, yeah. If you look on the near the upper right corner of my scope there, I just have the METARs all up there already. The key is that, yeah, like I can pick what METARs I put in that list. So I didn't have Rankin Inlet in that list because I didn't see any need for it until this guy, until this Comair 272 logged on. So yeah, because the trouble is like if there is a setting within the software here to automatically put up weather at every airport within our FIR here. However, if you do that, there are about 200 to 300 active airports within the entire extremities of the Edmonton FIR. So the list becomes unmanageably long. So yeah, I just pull up whatever airport or whatever weather is relevant to my to what I'm currently controlling. I can't have every single METAR up there, so I just pull up the METARs for the major airports, and then I'll pull up the METARs for any other airports that I may need to look at. So right now I'm just having a quick glance at the let's see here, trying to find out what CYCS is. He said Chesterfield. Let's just see if I can find it here, because the scope did not even recognize it. Chesterfield Inlet. All right, so I'm just overlaying it here. All right, and let's go IFR low. So it's not too far away. I don't even care which. I just want to see. Okay, so it looks like it's about 50 miles northeast of Rankin Inlet here at the intersection Suvdi. So let's see if I can find a way to make this show up here a little better. This might overclutter my airspace, but let's just try something here. This will probably make it extremely cluttered, but it's actually not totally unreasonable. So this is Rankin Inlet right here. Chesterfield is at the next inlet up here. So it's a very short flight for the ATR, but having these airways on here will actually help me a lot, just sort of in assess where the aircraft are. So this is just the low airways though. All right, but at least we got one airplane to talk to. One airplane is better than no airplanes, which was what I had before. All right, so I'm going to put the low airways on this one as well. And what I can also do, or what I should be able to do, is put up the airways without their identifiers, which makes it a little bit cleaner. You can still see them, but it's not nearly as messed up as this. This is a little bit too messy here. Actually, I don't like that order. So let's do this. Let's do that. There we go. Okay, so I took away the airways on this one. But yeah, so now I get a better sense of where he's going. He's going from here to here. 50 miles. I got 3,000 miles of airspace. He's going to use 50 of them. I should probably put up the other two that I have here, which is there we go. Yellowknife and Fort Mac can also go up in the list there, since I have their ATISs up as well. It'll help me track their ATISs as we're going here. And the funny thing is that I look at my streaming software and I see the scope there, and I want to click on it there. Oh well. All right, yeah. Any other questions you guys have, please feel free to ask. I'm an open book here. I'm just going to put my phone on Do Not Disturb so it doesn't bug me if anybody is trying to text me for anything here. But if you guys got any questions about this, yeah, there's not much going on right now. But there are some inbounds. There's some guys on the ground that are heading our way. And hopefully if we spend a little bit more time here, we can lure in a few more aircraft. It's Friday night, but it's also, I guess the other thing too is it's a long weekend in Canada. So there's a good chance that not many people are going to show up. There's a good chance people are doing better stuff with their life than spending it on VATSIM. And then there's the rest of us who have nothing to lose, nothing to gain. We're just here. All right. Anywho, one thing I will point out, and I'll probably point this out a couple times, it's not going to make too much of a difference today, but I did enable channel points a while back. I've now added a little custom icon there, a little plane with a little locator thing above it there, but just at the bottom of the chat window there. It's going to be more intended for my, what am I trying to say? It's going to be more intended for my streaming, for my flight streaming. The idea I came up with was that I can use this as a way to trigger failures as well. So people who watch the stream regularly and accumulate lots of points in my channel will be able to help specify when to trigger failures during flights. Since I've been relying on the random failures of the PMDG 737, and it's not working that well. It never seems to quite cause too many failures for me, and it disappoints me. So I'm hoping that maybe this will add some more interest. Oh, I see his transponder's online. Maybe he's airborne. Yeah, I think he's airborne there. That's him. All right, that didn't take him too long to get airborne. Nice, nice. I wonder if they have weather in Chesterfield. Pulling up the METAR. No weather data in Chesterfield. We have to go on the Rankin Inlet weather, I guess. I realize here I am streaming, and I'm still actually chewing gum from earlier. It's funny because I didn't even realize I was doing it. So pardon me for a second. We'll get rid of that. Headshoot Man 15, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. We have one airplane in our FIR right now in our airspace. Not very exciting, but I'm hoping that more people will see us online and log on. We do have a couple of inbound scheduled out of the Vancouver FIR, which is also online. Looks like Vancouver Approach is online now as well, so should get some traffic coming to and from Vancouver. Also, good leg flight. Kelowna.
Cover 272, departed Rankin, climbing through 2,800 for 5,000.
Still sounds a little bit loud. Comair 272 Edmonton, thank you very much. You're identified. Continue climb 5,000, and you can proceed on course.
Continue climb 5,000 on course, Calgary 272.
In real life, doing pretty good. It's nice that summer is kind of here. It's a little bit hazy out there today, quite warm, but it's just nice that summer is finally here, and also kind of nice to be back to work. I've been off for 2 weeks, and it's nice to be off too. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy my vacation, I enjoy my time off, but it's nice to get back in the swing of things. Even last month, because even last month at work, I didn't fly that much. I was really and it was bugging me by the end of the month. Like I had flown like in the last 2 weeks of the month, I flew like twice, 3 times. So, okay, we got a departure up here. Nice. Let's check him out. All right, so he's going to Yellowknife. Okay, cool. Let's just check out. Oh, and then we got another one. Perfect. Love it. All right, we got some aircraft, and I got some aircraft airborne doing some stuff here. All right, so let's assign him 17 left. This guy's going to Edmonton. Should also be taking a similar route. Doing it in the Embraer. Nice. Like it. I like it. I'll assign him 17 right for departure. I believe we have to give him the Cowboy now. I don't know why this does not update, but it does not update. All right, I'm going to start also bringing charts up on here. Yeah. But it's been it's been nice to have time off. As I sort of alluded to a few minutes ago, I've been doing lots of work around the house trying to sort of get ready for everything summer. yard work and getting the pool ready and all that kind of stuff. So it was nice to have the time off because it really allowed me to get all this stuff done. But now I need to focus back on flying again here. All right. Do we have the Cowboy 2 here? We should have the Cowboy 2 on this list, don't we? We have the Rodeo 2, Calgary. Okay, Stampede 1 it is then. Yeah, we got a pretty big yard, so it takes a while to kind of get it looking good. It takes me an hour, over an hour to cut it, like an hour and a half sometimes to cut it. So it just even just now back to cutting the grass again, and it's growing like crazy because of the time of year. Hey, Comair 272, you're probably aware, but I don't have any Chesterfield weather. So Rankin's still the most current weather, winds variable at 2 there, the altimeter 2973. What approach are you planning for Chesterfield?
We'll be planning a runway 30 RNAV for Comair 272.
Comair 272, Roger. When able, proceed direct Rockma.
Okay, Director Rockma, Comair 272.
Let's set up a distance between him and Rockma. There we go. And now I got a little distance readout of how far back he is from Rockma, so I can clear him for the approach at an appropriate time. Let's see here. Yeah, clear him for the approach at the appropriate time. All right, we got WestJet here on the ground. Hopefully we get that other guy back, whoever he was. He kind of vanished, but hopefully he'll come back. Yeah, it's just been a very nice, just a busy time of year, so I really wish I had more time for streaming. Uh, Yeah, exams. Yeah, and that's probably another thing that's kind of keeping people away from VATSIM right now is we're kind of coming up towards the end of the school year if we haven't already for a lot of people. So it's going to be exam season if it's not already. I think some people have already finished their exams and hopefully that'll get them back online a little bit more. But other people are kind of going to do their exams. So I do find the network has been a little bit quiet lately. I have definitely not spent as much time on it. Although the other night I did go in Toronto and it just for like an hour and a half and it got really quite busy and quite interesting. So I definitely enjoyed that, but yeah, not as just definitely not as busy as it could be, should be. I wish it was. Comair 272 Edmonton, when ready, descend 3000, and you're cleared Chesterfield, RNAV runway 30 true, Rockma transition.
When ready, 3000, cleared RNAV true runway 30 via Rockma, Comair 272.
Comair 272, that readback is all correct, and I have no further traffic observed reported between you and Chesterfield. You can switch to the local advisories and just give me a call this frequency, down and clear.
Roger, we'll go to advisory frequency and we will call one clear of the runway, Comair 272.
I'll just check and make sure the WestJet doesn't start taxiing here. I guess WestJet is flying. Guess they didn't go on strike after all. They did come close, and apparently a ditto for the Allied Pilots Association too. American Airlines and the Allied Pilots Association have been in negotiations, and American Airlines pilots had a strike mandate as well. And they just reached an agreement with their airline as well, so there will be no strike at American Airlines for the time being. Now, the important thing to remember in the labor negotiations is that all this means is that there's a tentative agreement, which means that there's an agreement that might be approved and it might not. The airline has put it forth and has approved it. The employer has approved it, but the membership, the pilots have to ratify it. So it'll be interesting to see what's in that agreement and whether they say yes or no. Because if they say no, it's back to the drawing board, back to a potential strike again. Uh, it's a very yeah. I mean, I'm so happy to hear it. I'm really I'm super stoked to hear that. Super stoked to hear that that they did reach an agreement at the last minute. I did not want to see them go on strike. I really did not either. I totally believe in them, and I believe that if they felt they had to, I totally support them. I think the airline industry in Canada has been kind of slipping downhill for a long time, and WestJet is a company that took a big nosedive in the last 5 to 10 years. Ever since they went private and got bought out by Onyx, it's been it's gone from the employees are family, they're part of the company, we want to succeed together, to the us versus them employer employee mentality. Oh, we're going to do everything we can to cut back on employees. Employees are liabilities. Is the way WestJet views their employees right now, which is really a shame, because 5, 10 years ago, you talk to people, and most people who ever went to work there never wanted to leave. They liked working for the company. They believed in the company. They believed they were doing good things, that it was a company that was good to its customers, uh, treated its customers well, and as a result, treated its employees well. But then, yeah, you get into this. You get a change of management. You get a complete and total 180-degree change in attitude. So it's no wonder that the employee groups all feel like they have to stand up for themselves now. WestJet has never had any kind of employee strike because they've never been unionized until the last 5 years, because nobody ever felt the need to be unionized because the employees were treated well. But as the treatment has just slid down the hill ever so slowly but steadily, uh, you know, death by a thousand cuts. Eventually, the groups give up and they fight back. So it's it was funny to listen to the WestJet management, the WestJet CEO, talk about the union. Say the union has been drying up the pilot pool intentionally to kind of screw over the airline, and I don't think anything could be further from the truth. The people who are to blame for the drying up of the pilot pool in general in North America are the airlines, and indirectly the regulators who deregulated the entire industry. So, uh, you know, 40 years ago, it was a very regulated industry. What routes could be flown and how much could be charged was set by the government. And then they deregulated it and said, no, we'll just let the free market decide. The airlines can decide for themselves what they want to charge, what they want to pay. And ever since then, it's been a race to the bottom for all the airlines to have the lowest possible costs, to charge the lowest price so that they get the most customers in the door. And everything has suffered as a result. This pilot shortage that we have right now has been 30 to 40 years in the making. It's been an entire generation of people who have it used to be working as an airline pilot was a phenomenal job. It was a job that it was a lifetime job. You were taken care of. You were treated like royalty. You were brought to the airplane in a limo, and flight crews especially were treated like royalty. And I'm not saying that I need to be brought to the airplane in a limo, but that's just sort of the attitude that existed at the time. They were the pinnacle of the business. And then yeah, there's just a slow but steady race to the bottom, and everyone more, less and less pay, more and more work, longer hours, more grueling schedules, more and more time away from home. It's become a very unpleasant thing.
Edmonton Center, good afternoon. WestJet 221 with you at gate 14 with information Echo and requesting FR2 Yellowknife.
Oh, WestJet 221, hello. You're cleared to Yellowknife via the Stampede 1 departure. Radar vectors to Avrom, flight plan route. Departure runway 17 left, squawk code 0740.
Roger, WestJet 221 copies clearance to Yellowknife of Stampede 1 departure, radar vectors to Avrom. And departure is on runway 17 left and squawk 0740.
WestJet 221, Edmonton, thank you. That readback is correct. It's information Bravo. Push back and start up at your discretion and call me ready for taxi.
Roger that. We'll get Bravo, and any chance we can get runway 17 right for departure.
WestJet 221, since you're the only guy out there right now, you got it. Amend the departure clearance 17 right on the Stampede 1, balance unchanged.
Roger that. Clear for departure off of runway 17 right, and balance of departure unchanged. WestJet 221, thank you.
WestJet 221, read back correct. Call me ready for the taxi.
Roger, we'll call for the taxi, WestJet 221.
Yeah, the pilot shortage that exists in North America has been 30 to 40 years in the making, ever since deregulation started, and it's just been a slow but steady erosion of the working conditions, the wages, until the point where nobody wants to do the job anymore. It's not that nobody wants to do the job, but the number of people who do want to do the job has definitely gone downhill. The flight schools used to be full all the time. Airlines used to have stacks of resumes, hundreds of resumes thick. They could pick who they wanted. They could pick the cream of the crop, and now they're scraping the bottom of the barrel. They're begging people. Airlines are calling people. They're calling pilots that don't work for them, saying, "Hey, would you like to come work for us?" They're cold calling people who have sometimes not even put in a resume, but just they got the phone number from someone who works at their company. Oh, my buddy's a pilot. Yeah, here's his phone number. You can call him. They're literally calling up people that have not even submitted an application to say, "Hey, I'm calling from such and such airline. Would you like to come? Are you interested in coming in for an interview?" It blows the mind how that is turned around, but it's the result of years and years of not making this an enticing industry to work for. People have sort of stuck it out because they were already in it, but new people do not want to get into the business because the pay is low. The hours are long. You're away from home for long periods of time. It's a very tough business. So you have to compensate people to get into a tough business. And the airlines stopped doing that quite a while ago, slowly but steadily. And it's reared its ugly head the last 5 years now. Really, it has. And you have to look no further than the United States for proof that that higher salaries will draw people back to the business. There were flight schools that were on the verge of shutting down in America 3 or 4 years ago, on the verge, even like 2 years ago, on the verge of shutting down, and not just because of the pandemic, but just because there's just nobody coming in the door. Nobody wanted to become a pilot. Everyone knows, well, the first couple of years you'll make $15,000-$20,000 a year. So why would you take out $100,000 in debt, spend $100,000 getting a license to get paid $20,000 a year? It absolutely made no sense. As soon as the salaries suddenly, well, the salaries have suddenly taken a skyrocketing turn. They're now you get paid. First year, you get like a signing bonus of like $50,000. You pay off half your loan just with the signing bonus alone. All of a sudden, now the flight schools are full. So now, the U.S. has started to move in that direction, and it's having an impact. Now that the job pays well again, uh, people are interested in doing it, and it's been in the news that the kind of raises people are getting. The trouble is this hasn't happened in Canada yet. It's happened south of the border in the U.S., hasn't happened in Canada yet. So it's taken a little while for that to kind of take place. Sorry, I'm not even really reading the chat as you guys are going here. So what's the best way to get in VATSIM? Let me circle back to that. But yeah, it's a really long-term issue. It's expensive to become a commercial pilot. It's not that it's particularly difficult. It does take effort. It does take time, but it's more the cost. Like typically to get a commercial license, you're going to spend at least 50, if not potentially $100,000 of your own money or somebody's money, and borrow it from your parents or borrow it from a bank. But you're going to spend potentially as much as $100,000 to get a commercial license, and then you're going to just make pennies for the first dozen or so years. It's one of the worst student loans you can get because you're going to make very little money. Doctors get six-figure loans, but they get out of med school and they don't get paid $20,000 the first year. So it's a combination of how much it costs to get licensed, and how much you make. The equation just did not balance out. It's like, why would I spend $100,000 to make $20,000 a year? That's not $20,000. That doesn't mean I'm going to have my debt paid off in 5 years. That's $20,000 I have to live off of. Basically, I'm not going to pay that debt for years and years. It's just ridiculous on its face. So nobody got into the business, or not to say nobody did, but not enough people got into the business for the last several years now, and it's been a slow but steady drain where the the pile of resumes at the airlines has just slowly decreased until there's almost none left. There's always people who will do it. That's what first officers of regional airlines were making 5 years ago, was $20,000, and now they're making $50,000 with a $50,000 signing bonus in some cases. Like the money that's being thrown at them right now is unbelievable. But it's paying off. People are interested in getting back in the business again. But Canada has not yet woken up to that reality. The airlines are all like, "Oh, we don't know why there's no pilots that want to work here. We still pay money." It's like, yeah, but the raises have been held so low for so long, and every time that there's a downturn, all pilots are smart people. They say, "Yes, we want our airline to survive. We don't want to bankrupt our airline. We'll take some kind of a we'll take some kind of a cut. We'll take some kind of a we'll help out. We'll bite the bullet. We'll help the team. We'll make sure the airline survives. So they'll take a pay cut, or they'll take reduced hours, or even just a pay freeze for a couple of years, which in essence is a pay cut at whatever the rate of inflation is, 2% a year or something like that. Higher now, obviously. Uh, so it's been sort of slowly but steadily eroded, because every time then the airlines turn around and say, "Oh, we're making money again," then they're like, "Well, we'll give you raises at the rate of inflation again." It's like, yeah, but what happened to those years where we lost money to inflation because we were helping the airline? Every time they turn around and start making money again, they're like, "Oh, no, we're just going to hold the line salaries where it is." It's like, well, enough is enough. People have pilots have given up on it now. All right. Give him 17 right as well on the Stampede 1. I don't know why this thing won't update, but it never seems to update for me, so I gotta see if I can do a manual update at some point here. All right, so back to what Head Shoot Man 15 said was, of course, what do you think the best way to get into VATSIM? Now, it depends.
Good evening, Edmonton Center. Jazz 788 Bravo on the ground at Calgary, looking for IFR to Edmonton, please.
Jazz 788 Bravo, Edmonton, good evening. You're cleared to Calgary. You're cleared to Edmonton via the Stampede 1 departure. Radar vectors Pevlu flight plan route. Depart runway 17 right and squawk code 0362.
Cleared to Edmonton on the Stamp 1 departure, Pevlu transition, flight plan route 17 right and squawk 0362, Jazz 788 Bravo.
Jazz 788 Bravo, your readback is correct. Information Bravo is current in Calgary. Pushback and start up at your discretion, and call me ready for taxi.
Push on me and I'll call you for taxi, Jazz 788 Bravo.
Okay, I see the third one that's on the ground there is actually just the one that arrived in, it's the Comair 272 that arrived in Chesterfield. Okay, so yeah, so if you want to talk about getting started in VATSIM, it's a two-sided equation, and which side of the equation do you want to start on? Are you talking about starting as a controller or starting as a pilot? Starting as a pilot's pretty straightforward. You've got to have some knowledge of how to fly an airplane.
Edmonton Center, WestJet 221, ready for taxi. We have Bravo.
WestJet 221 Edmonton, it's runway 17 right. Information is Bravo, altimeter 297. Taxi apron at your discretion, Kilo and Charlie.
Taxi via the apron, Kilo Charlie, hold short 17 right, WestJet 221.
Okay, you want to get started as a pilot. Fortunately, it's fairly straightforward. I'll just give myself my own plug here. I did a series of, I think, four YouTube videos a year or two ago. So if you check my YouTube channel, youtube.com/CaptainNabs, CAPTNABS, and you'll see there's some VATSIM tutorials there. So one of them is actually how to go through just the sign-up process, how to write the little exam. So all pilots, before they fly in the VATSIM network, have to do a small exam. I think it's 50 questions, or maybe it's 25 questions. They're very basic questions. Don't be scared about it. It's not like they're not trying to fail you. They're just trying to prove that you've read the basic introductory documents to VATSIM, so you understand how to connect to the network, how to talk to ATC, how to dial up a radio, what an altimeter is. Some of the more basic rules, like no profanity on the frequencies, treat other people with respect, like the very basic rules. Like the idea is that you've gone and read the basic training on the VATSIM website, and it's not going to be like an IFR exam, like how do you do a hold entry, at a procedure turn or anything like that. So yeah, take a look at those. They'll kind of walk you through the process and give you an idea. I would highly suggest, and I don't know how comfortable you are as a pilot flying the aircraft, but I would suggest the first time you go out there, you do something pretty slow pace. So go find a tower that's online that's not very busy, and go do some circuits the first time, just to get used to talking to ATC, working the radio, the transponder, just dealing with ATC and that sort of thing. Go and do a radio check first, and then go and go and do something pretty simple to start with. Oh, I didn't even notice there's a handoff here. Didn't make a noise today. I don't know why. All right, starting to get some stuff happening here. I would start with that just to keep it easy, and then maybe a simple IFR flight, something. Go with airplanes you're very familiar with, you're very comfortable with, as well as the other advice I'll give you. So whatever airplane you're comfortable flying in the sim, you need.
686, good afternoon, flight level 390.
Air Canada 686, Edmonton, good afternoon. Yeah, you need, in order to fly on VATSIM, you got to be able to hold a heading, an altitude, and I'm talking, you could do this with the autopilot, but you need to understand how to dial in a heading and fly a heading, how to dial in altitude, fly an altitude.
Edmonton Center, WestJet 221, holding short, 17 right at Charlie.
WestJet 221 Edmonton. Contact me once you're airborne. The wind's 260, 6 gust 16. Clear for takeoff. Runway 17 right.
Roger, call you airborne, clear for takeoff, 17 right, WestJet 221.
All right, so Comair 272 messaged me on frequency and said he's down and clear, but he must have fallen out of a radio range, which makes sense if he's on the ground somewhere else. All right, we got another one on the ground here in Calgary. So Edmonton arrivals are going to get, oh, this guy's going to Vancouver, but Edmonton's going to get a little busier a little later on. 17 right. And give him a new squawk code there, and that's good.
Edmonton Center, good evening. WestJet 121 is IFR to Vancouver. We have information Bravo.
WestJet 121 Edmonton, good evening. You're cleared to Vancouver via the Stampede 1 departure, vectors BOTAG, flight plan route. Departure runway is 17 right, squawk code is 0325.
WestJet 121 is cleared to Vancouver Airport via the Stampede 1 departure, BOTAG transition, departing 17 right, squawk 0325.
WestJet 121, thank you. That readback is all correct. Information Bravo is current. Pushback startup at your discretion and call me ready for taxi.
No, call ready for taxi, WestJet 121, thank you.
Edmonton Center, WestJet 221 with you through 4,600 for 7.
WestJet 221, you're identified. Continue climb 16,000.
Continue to climb 16,000, WestJet 221.
Air Canada 686 Edmonton. The Edmonton information is Bravo, plan runway 20.
They got Bravo on board, we'll plan for runway 20, Air Canada 686, thank you.
All right, actually getting some stuff going on here. Just got to be patient on VATSIM as a controller. Sometimes stuff doesn't happen for an hour or so, but then it starts.
Air Canada 686.
Air Canada 686 Edmonton.
Air Canada 686, we're looking for RNAV, let's see here, RNAV Zulu runway 20, that's code transition.
Air Canada 686, I copy. You're looking for the RNAV Zulu. We can plan on that.
Roger, thank you, Air Canada 686.
WestJet 221, turn left heading 080.
Left heading 080, WestJet 221.
All right, so let's see. Sorry, I'm missing all of your chatting here. Got to keep bringing it to the front here. Not that one. I got too many things going on here. Let's get rid of all that, in fact. All right. I'm not 100% comfortable with the A320. Sometimes it does not descend at a pace that I want to, and I miss the altitude restrictions. Are those taken pretty seriously? In case I mess it up, I usually do a hold until I'm at the right altitude. Sorry, I keep spamming. No, it's fine. Fine. Keep asking. I'm just, also trying to keep these airplanes moving here. WestJet 221, turn left direct OBTAD on course.
Left turn direct OBTAD on course, WestJet 221.
Air Canada 686, Edmonton 1 ready, descend flight level 290.
When are you send 290 Air Canada 686?
As far as the altitude restrictions on the stars and stuff like that, it helps if you can adhere to them, but it's not the end of the world if you don't. I think, again, the key is communication. If you find the aircraft is not going to hit the target that's on the star, just tell the controller. Usually nobody's going to get too pissed off about it. Most of the controllers fly these airplanes as well, so they understand that depending on the airplane you're in, oftentimes they're not perfect. Some of the airplanes are really good. The PMDG, the Phoenix, the Mad Dog, those airplanes, the VNAV is really good, but we also understand that there's a lot of aircraft out there where the VNAV is not really good. Fly-by-wires, A320 is kind of, the VNAV's getting better. If you're using default airplanes, we understand the VNAV is not that good. So it's not the end of the world, but if you're not going to hit a restriction, just advise ATC as soon as you realize you're not going to hit it, and they may have to amend something just to make sure, because some of their plans are predicated on you hitting those restrictions. Those restrictions might be there to keep you above or below traffic flow to another airport. So, they can usually work with you if you tell them. Just let them know. WestJet 221, continue climb, flight level 280.
Climb flight level 280, WestJet 221.
If you're using the fly-by-wire, it's going to get better too, I think. Their controllers are used to that, like the people not hitting the star restrictions perfectly every time. As long as you understand how to intercept an approach, and fly an approach without having to be vectored back and forth like 4 times to get in, to intercept. Because I've seen that with guys like, I'm set up for this approach, and you clear him for the approach, and he goes right through it, and then you send him back again, and he comes back through, and you send him back through it, and still can't intercept it like 4 times. So like, what's going on? Oh, I don't know how to, I don't know how to do this. So there's a certain level of competency that's expected. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's recognized as a hobby. It's an educational experience. We'd like it to be as realistic as we can, but we also recognize that most of the people flying here are not professionals. So and also the equipment is not always perfect. So I wouldn't go start doing a hold to hit the altitude restriction though without telling ATC. But if you're online and you're not going to hit the altitude restriction, tell ATC and they'll figure out whether it's going to be important or not. In some cases it might be, and they might have to give you a turn or something. The biggest thing is communicate. They understand that these airplanes are not perfect. So if you're not going to hit the restriction, just tell them, hey, I'm not going to make this restriction at such and such, and they'll work with it. The expectation is you will make it at those restrictions until you tell somebody, but they have the ability to cancel it and just give you something else if it's not working. Because they've seen it all. Like there's tons and tons of people flying the fly-by-wire stuff around here. It's not great. A lot of this is, people are just sort of doing more basic planning. Air Canada 686 here is A320neo, so there's a good chance he's flying the default airplane or the fly-by-wire airplane, which is, again, it's not terrible, but it's not perfect by any means. Just going to pull up some other charts here. The important thing is to know how to read charts. Read charts, operate your airplane to a reasonable degree. So they tell you to maintain an altitude, fly a heading, things like that. Know how to do that. If you're cleared for a SID and you can't fly the SID for whatever reason, you can't pull up in the database, just say so. There will be alternate instructions available for people who can't fly the SIDs, but you just got to say something. If you don't say anything, then everyone assumes you're going to do whatever's published on the SID. And it happens all the time. It's one of the biggest pet peeves I think controllers have on VATSIM is people who can't fly the procedure and then blame the aircraft. It's like, well, if you're not sure if it's going to fly the procedure correctly, then just ask for alternate instructions. Most of the time, we can give you runway heading, maintain 10,000 or 5,000 or whatever, and work with that. But when we expect you to make a turn or expect you to go straight out on departure, and people suddenly start turning anyways, that can really start to make for a frustrating situation. Air Canada, Air Canada 686, continue descent 8,000. The Edmonton altimeter is 29905.
Down to 8,000, we got the altimeter. Thank you, Air Canada 686.
WestJet 221, climb flight level 360.
Climb up flight level 360, WestJet 221.
Yeah, like most of the missed altitude restrictions are due to sudden speed restriction. Yeah, and that definitely could be a challenge. It's one thing to plan the VNAV, but it's also another thing to plan for decelerations, and the aircraft has to plan for decelerations. Decelerations don't work if you're still trying to descend. And that is, yeah, that's a problem the real airplanes suffer from. Sometimes they don't give enough room to slow down even the real airplanes. So yeah, that it just adds to complexity. Speed restrictions and altitude restrictions go hand in hand, and if the VNAV is trying to honor one but not the other, or it's planned on one but not the other properly, yeah, it doesn't work very well. I've read that the fly-by-wire 320 has got a new VNAV system. I don't know if I think it's in like the experimental branch right now, but apparently it is working quite well. So hopefully that'll work out for you. Yeah, part of the problem with VNAV too is that the idea of the VNAVs, especially for descents, is that the airlines want the airplanes to descend at idle thrust. The airplanes are most efficient when they're using thrust at high altitudes, and then as soon as they're ready, what the ideal descent for an airliner is going to be, you just do one continuous descent. So you cruise along at a cruise thrust, and all of a sudden, at the top of descent, you go to idle thrust, and you idle thrust all the way down until you're on the approach. That's the ideal. That's what the computers are supposed to be programmed to do. Is almost zero thrust. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean you can go any slower. So part of the problem is if the winds are not as forecast or the winds have not been inputted into calculation, that can really throw the whole thing for a loop. So having the descent winds in there, having accurate descent winds in there is also important because the angle and the point of the top of the start at the top of descent will change based on the winds. If you've got a strong tailwind, you're going to have to start down sooner because that wind is blowing you towards the airport. Strong headwind, you can start down a little bit later, so that needs to be factored in. I don't know if the fly-by-wire system has factored that in. I hope they have. I would think they have because they're generally a pretty smart little system there. They're good developers there. It's just it's all voluntary. It's all a bunch of people, like nobody's paying them to do this. They're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. So if VNAV is one of the most complicated systems, even in real airplanes. It's tough. It really is tough. There have been plenty of airplanes that VNAV has not been a good system and has had to go through multiple iterations to become a good system. But yeah, there's plenty of airplanes where the VNAV is not a good system to start, and the Embraer was one of them. The VNAV in the Embraer used to be horrendous. It never really did the slowdowns properly. It barely ever met the altitude restrictions. You'd always be sitting there watching it, thinking, hoping, fingers crossed, it's going to make it, and probably not, and always pulling out lots of extra speed brake to slow it down. It used to be really bad before the software load 27. Then software load 27, they completely rewrote the VNAV, and the VNAV became really good in software load 27. So it's something that even the real airframe manufacturers have a hard time mastering. There's just so many variables trying to draw in that perfect descent profile where you're descending as close to idle as possible. But the trouble with being so close to idle is that you have very little leeway if you've underestimated how fast you can descend. You have very little leeway to get down faster. If you try to pitch down, then the speed will increase. If you got a speed restriction, you got to bring the speed back, then you're above the profile. So it is important to kind of watch with the speed brakes and help it along. Even in the real world, the pilots cannot sit there and just sort of hope that it works. The other thing that'll also throw off your descent profile is anti-ice. If you've got anti-ice on, the anti-ice will increase the idle thrust required of the engines. And so once you've increased the idle thrust that the engines require to maintain enough heat in the anti-ice system, now all of a sudden the full idle that was being planned on in the descent before is no longer enough. So very often, most aircraft, if you're descending with the anti-ice on for any length of time, chances are you're going to have to pop the speed brakes at least a little bit of the way out while the anti-ice is on to compensate for that extra thrust and keep the drag up there and thus not accelerate down the hill. Lots of things. VNAV is complicated. Everyone complains that these airplanes can't descend on VNAV. VNAV's a godsend when it works, but you've got to watch it. It's not perfect. Airplanes that are heavier as well than expected in the real world. This is a very common problem. The weights of the aircraft are basically estimated. We look at the weights. We look at all the number of passengers on board, number of males, number of females, and we have standardized weights. All the different airlines have standardized weights that they use, and so we just say X number of males, X number of females. Therefore, they must weigh this much. The trouble with that, of course, is that not everybody weighs standard, and oftentimes it'll skew one way or the other. It'll skew heavier or skew lighter. Usually, we tend to skew heavier than the average. The last time the average originally was calculated like back in like the 40s and 50s, so it was ridiculously low. And then in the 2000s, it was the averages were kind of recalculated again, and everyone's like, oh yeah, these averages don't work anymore. The averages went up a fair bit in the 2000s, but even now, you'll probably have more people that are over the average, over the standard passenger than under. So oftentimes the airplanes are heavier than you expect. And when you're dealing with something, you're dealing with a narrow body airplane that has 150, 180 people in it, that could be 1,000 kilos heavier than planned. So, you have entered a certain weight in the computer, and the computer has planned to descend you because you weigh this much, you shouldn't accelerate. But if you're actually a ton heavier, you've put in the weight that the airline told you to because that was their weight and balance, and they figured out based on these number of passengers, this is the weight you should be at. But then you end up being heavier than that because people are heavier than the average. This is just, it was just a ballpark figure before. You might gain weight for that. You might gain speed because you're heavier than you thought, and the plane is calculated based on one weight, but you're actually a ton heavier. You're going to need to start down sooner because even at idle thrust, you're going to accelerate faster because of all that extra weight. So, tons of factors that can play into the VNAV. It's a great guideline, but as pilots know, they cannot sit on their laurels and just watch it sort of unfold. They have to actively monitor it, and because oftentimes you will need speed brakes to make sure that you meet the restrictions that are published. All right, he's coming down here. We got another one. We got another live one here out of Edmonton here. We got him on the Jevon 1. Looks like we got a bunch of updates here. Information: Charlie in Edmonton, Calgary and Yellowknife, and Delta in Fort Mac. Air Canada 686 just came out with information. Charlie now in Edmonton. The winds there are showing 240 at 230 at 5, and the altimeter there is now 299.5.
Roger, Air Canada 686, we'll get that information.
One question. Well, the airplane is climbing. Sorry, I can't read the whole question here. See, the one thing I have a secondary screen, but it's partly cut off at the end. It's a TV, so it kind of sucks like that. The airplane is climbing, and let's say it's at 10,000 feet. Could it happen that ATC gives you a lower altitude for some reason? It's possible. It's highly unlikely. ATC understands what the whole reason the ATC system exists is to increase safety and efficiency. So before ATC came along, like you could only have one airplane doing an approach at a time at an airport. It was a very inefficient system. So ATC exists in large part to make the airspace system efficient. So they will not usually do things that are going to be inefficient for you, like going down to go back up again. It's not to say that they never would. I mean, if there was traffic and there's no choice, they might do it. But in general, they're going to try and keep you in a trending towards your destination. Climbing when you're
Edmonton Centre, good evening. WestJet 427 requesting IFR clearance to Vancouver for information Charlie on board.
WestJet 427 Edmonton, g'day. You're cleared to, let's see here. You're cleared to Vancouver via the Javon 1 departure. Vectors to Andy, flight plan route. Departure runway is 12, squawk code 1033.
Clear to Vancouver on the Javon 1 departure flight plan route. Vectors to Andy, runway 12, squawk 1033, WestJet 47.
WestJet 1033, correction, WestJet 427. That readback is correct. Information Charlie is now current in Edmonton. Push and start at your discretion. Call me ready for taxi.
Great, yeah, we'll call it taxi. Thanks, WestJet 47.
Air Canada 686, proceed direct Dudco.
Direct Dutco, Air Canada 686.
Head shoot man, thank you very much for the thank you very much for that. I appreciate the little cheer there. Oh, we're getting lots of airplanes in here now. I hope I've helped you out anyways. Yeah. There's lots to think about VNAV especially, but if you're not comfortable or totally confident yourself in the 320, then like I said, go out there in a simpler airplane to start with. Go take a 172 around the patch a few times just to get used to the idea of talking to the ATC, dealing with them before you start to do something a little bit more complicated. The nice thing about flying circuits is pretty straightforward, pretty easy. You can kind of, and especially if you throw the autopilot on in the downwind, you can kind of focus on talking to ATC and flying at the same time. The airliners, because you're flying RNAV procedures, things like that, starts to get a lot more complicated. If you feel comfortable with it, do it. But if you're not sure, just the first time or two, just go out there and just do some simple stuff. And don't be afraid to also put in your flight plan remarks on VATSIM that you're a newbie, that you're a rookie, that so just let people know. Controllers will try to, maybe talk a little slower. If you make a mistake, they'll probably be a little bit friendlier about just sort of pointing you in the right direction. If things are going to happen. You're probably going to make mistakes. We all do. Even experienced pilots will make mistakes from time to time. So, but yeah, throw that in your flight plan. Not everyone's going to notice that, but hopefully people will notice it, and they'll if you make a mistake, they'll prod you in the right direction, rather than necessarily getting all upset just because you did something. Oh, Vancouver Center's gone. They're only online for like an hour. So because the airplane all right, I'm asking because the airplane is automatically switching the performance modes, right? What happened to me many times that I was climbing, I reached target altitude, pitched down too much, and the mode switched to setting and had no way to change it back to climb. Okay, well, that's pretty aggressive. Shouldn't go back into descent mode unless even if you're leveling off, even if the performance mode switches to descent mode, if you've got the altitude capture will take precedence. It should capture. So again, the fly-by-wire is not perfect. That's the trouble too. You got to sort of take everything the fly-by-wire does with a grain of salt. They're certainly doing a good job. They're doing the best they can with it, but it's not a perfect aircraft at this time. Let me just reread this. Make sure I didn't read this. But reach my target altitude, then I pitched.
Edmonton Center, WestJet 121, ready for taxi.
WestJet 121, Edmonton, runway 17 right. The information is now Charlie. The altimeter 29906. Taxi apron at your discretion. Out Hotel Bravo and Charlie.
Taxi via Hotel Bravo Charlie for 17 right, WestJet 120.
Uh, multiple times as climb manually, reach the target altitude, then I pitched down too much. The performance mode switched to descending, and I had no way to change it back to climb. Yeah, that actually, if it's not working properly, try changing the cruise altitude. If it's going back into if it's in descent mode and you want it to be back in cruise mode, try changing the cruise altitude. Go into the oof, I've drawn a blank right now. No, the init A page on the Airbus, the init A page will still be accessible in flight. So go and change the cruise altitude in that. Even put it higher temporarily and then bring it back. But if you put in a new cruise altitude, it triggers cruise mode in the performance section. So it'll put you back into performance mode. Just when flying manual. Okay, yeah. I could go find the conditions, but anyways, yeah. If it goes into descent mode, to get it back to cruise mode, put a new altitude in. That is, I don't know if the fly-by-wire will do it, but according to the Airbus FCOM, that should put you back into performance mode, put you back into cruise performance mode. I didn't know that for a long time myself. I did not. I honestly didn't know how to get back into performance cruise mode here either. Let's see here, aircraft systems. Let's see if I can find you some information here. Let's see here, performance. Let's see if I can find I have a table here that lists when it's supposed to switch from one performance mode to the next. Just trying to find it here. Displayed predictions, type of predictions, yeah.
Edmonton Center, WestJet 121, holding short 17 right at Charlie, ready for departure.
WestJet 121 Edmonton, contact me airborne. The wind's 270, 15 gust 20, clear for takeoff, 17 right.
Clear for takeoff, 17 right. Call you when airborne, WestJet 121. Thank you.
Air Canada 686, descend 5,000.
Descend 5,000, Air Canada 686.
And Air Canada 686, you're cleared Edmonton Airport, RNAV Zulu, runway 20, Dudco transition.
Cleared RNAV Zulu, Dudco transition, runway 20, Air Canada 686, thank you.
All right. 0374, handicap, okay, that's good. Sorry, what was I looking up? I was looking I was looking up information for you. All right. Information about when it transitions from one
Good evening, Edmonton Center. Air Canada 207 Heavy. With a pickup IFR to Vancouver, and we have Charlie on board.
And, sorry, was that Air Canada 207 calling?
Affirm, that was Air Canada 207.
Air Canada 207 Edmonton, you're cleared to Vancouver via the Jevon 1 departure, vectors Andy, flight plan route. Departure is 12, squawk code 0374.
Affirm could be the Jevon 1 departure, Andy transition, then it's filed and squawk 0374 for Air Canada 207 Heavy.
Air Canada 207, your readback is correct. Information is Charlie in Edmonton. Push and start at your discretion and call me ready for taxi.
Alright, push and start at discretion. We'll call you for taxi, Air Canada 207 Heavy.
Nope, I can't find it now. I read it a while back.
WestJet 121 is 5,500, climbing to 7,000.
WestJet 121, thank you. Identified through 5700, climb 16,000. At 6500, turn right, direct SIMTA on course.
Clement 17000 at 6500 direct descent, WestJet 121.
WestJet 121, very close, 16,000 on the altitude.
16000, 121. WestJet 121.
Roger. Descent. Okay, hold on.
Edmonton Centre, WestJet 47, ready for taxi.
Sorry, who's ready for taxi? WestJet 427?
Yes, WestJet 427, yeah.
WestJet 427, Edmonton, runway 12. The information is Charlie, altimeter 29905 for taxi. Apron your discretion, Alpha Bravo.
The altimeter is at 2995, apron Alpha Bravo for runway 12, hold short, WestJet 47.
Yeah, Envy Silence, you get to catch me live. Who would have thunk, huh? Life is full of just little joys like this, isn't it? Look at all these WestJet planes today. They got to pick up the pieces and get their passengers moving towards their destinations, I guess. Good times. Okay, let's see here. And we're going to do 17 left for this guy. I don't even know what MZBZ is. I don't even know what airport MZBZ is. I do not know. WestJet 121, climb flight level 280.
Climb flight level 280, WestJet 121.
All right, Air Canada 686 is going to turn around here shortly. WestJet 221's on his way. Yeah, I can't find the... I can't find... let's see here. Trying to search my document here. The trouble when you have 5,000 pages of documents is I know I've read it in here, but darned if I can figure out where. Hold on. DSC 22, 20, 30, 20. 2, 20, 30, 20. Aha! Aha! I found the table I'm looking for. Look at me showing off all the different centers I control. Thank you, Nomad. Okay, I found it. The descent phase of the A320 should activate when there is no step descent. The distance to descent to the destination is less than 200 miles, or all engines operative and select altitude below max of flight level 200 or the highest altitude constraint. So all engines operative, selected altitude is below. So it shouldn't go into descent mode unless you select low altitude.
427, holding short runway 12.
WestJet 427, Edmonton. Contact me airborne. The wind's 220 at 6. Clear for takeoff, runway 12.
We'll contact you airborne. Clear for takeoff, runway 12, WestJet 427.
Air Canada 686, Edmonton winds 220 at 6. You're clear to land, runway 20.
Clear on runway 20, Air Canada 686.
All right, back to focusing on what I'm doing here because there's too much going on. I knew I had that table in there, just a matter of finding it sometimes. There's so much information buried in these manuals. WestJet 121, continue climb flight level 380.
Climb flight level 380, WestJet 121.
Nomad Aviator, nice to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in there. And if I can figure out how to actually get over here. There, does that work? Hey, there we go. I finally figured out how to do a shout out. Because turnabout's only fair play, and it's nice to see a fellow Torontonian on here controlling as well. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'm keeping it kind of interesting here. It was pretty quiet for the first little while. A little bit disappointing, but it's gotten steady now, and all of Head Shoot Man's questions here are keeping me very occupied anyways.
And Edmonton Center, Air Canada 207, ready for taxi.
Air Canada 207, Edmonton information is Charlie, the altimeter 299.5, runway 12, taxi Alpha and Bravo.
Thanks for Alpha Bravo, hold short 12, and we have Charlie on board, Air Canada 207 Heavy.
Edmonton Centre, WestJet 427, 4,200.
WestJet 427, thank you very much. Identified climb 16,000.
Climb 16,000, WestJet 427.
Edmonton Center, Jazz 798 Bravo on the ground at Calgary, finally ready to taxi, runway 17 right.
And, sorry, who's that right? Oh, Jazz 788 Bravo. Jazz 788 Bravo, information in Calgary is now Charlie, the altimeter 299.6 for runway 17 right. Exit Juliet Tango. Juliet and Charlie, hold short of 17 right.
Juliet Tango, Juliet Charlie, hold short 17 right, Jazz 798 Bravo.
WestJet 427, turn right heading 190.
It's 190, WestJet 47.
And WestJet 427, turn right direct Andy on course.
Right direct Andy on course, WestJet 47.
Air Canada 686, we're going to roll to the end.
Air Canada 686, I got aircraft taxiing for runway 12. Can I get you to make the left at Bravo 4 there?
Yeah, we can do Bravo 4 instead, Air Canada 686. We'll look at the gate for you in just a sec.
Perfect. Air Canada 686, exit at Bravo 4. And you can just hold short of Bravo. Let me know if you want to go through the apron, if you want to go down Bravo and Alpha.
Roger, we'll let you know, Air Canada 686. Thank you.
Edmonton, good evening. Air Canada 148, information Charlie IFR to Toronto.
Air Canada 148, Edmonton, good evening. You're clear to Toronto via the Stampede 1 departure. Radar vectors Lomlo, flight plan route. Departure runways 17 left, squawk code 0346.
Okay, Air Canada 148 clear to Toronto. Stampede 1 departure, radar vectors Lomlo, flight plan route. Squawk 0346 and can request the right side for Air Canada 148.
Air Canada 148, yeah, that's approved. Amend your clearance for departure off 17 right, Stampede 1, balance unchanged.
Okay, 17 right, Stampede 1, rest is unchanged, Air Canada 148.
Air Canada 148, the readback is correct. Information in Calgary is Charlie. Push and start at your discretion and call me for taxi.
Okay, we'll call for taxi, Air Canada 148.
WestJet 427, climb flight level 280.
Climb 280, WestJet 47.
Air Canada 686, we're looking for gate 58.
Air Canada 686, okay, I copy 58. Turn right on Bravo, hold short Alpha.
Turn right, Bravo, hold short of Alpha, Air Canada 686.
I don't think I have. No. All right, let's see if I can pull this up here.
MS7, good evening. Flare 570 with Charlie requesting clearance to Kelowna.
And flare 570 standby 1. All right, flare 570 Edmonton, you're cleared to the Kelowna airport via the Jevon 1 departure, radar vectors Andy, flight plan route, departure runway 12, squawk code 021 tree.
Cleared to Kelowna via the Jevon 1, Andy transition off 12, squawking 021 tree. Flare 570.
Flare 570, the readback is correct. Information Charlie current, push and start at your discretion, call for taxi.
We'll call for taxi, Flare 570.
Air Canada 686, you should see a company 330 just turning onto Bravo ahead of you for runway 12. Behind them, taxi Alpha Oscar for 58.
Behind them, yeah, we got company in sight, so taxi via Bravo, Alpha, Oscar into the apron to 58, Air Canada 686, thank you.
Air Canada 207, you ready?
Air Canada 207 Heavy, we are ready for takeoff.
Air Canada 207 Heavy, contact me once you're airborne. The wind's 220 at 6, clear for takeoff, runway 12.
Alright, clear for takeoff 12, and we'll contact you airborne Air Canada 207 Heavy, thank you.
Jazz 788 Bravo Edmonton, contact me once you're airborne. The wind's 280 at 10, clear for takeoff, 17 right.
Clear for takeoff 17 right, call your airborne, Jazz 788 Bravo.
WestJet 427, continue climb, flight level 380.
Climb 380, WestJet 427.
Yes, you can go ahead and ask me your next question about the top of descent marker there. But yeah, it is, yeah. It'll be my captain on the way back from Calgary on the 27th. Ooh, that is an excellent question. I do a bunch of Calgarys. Where's the heck is my phone? Let me put it this way. I will not be the captain under any circumstances on the 27th unless the real captain passes out and I get a battlefield promotion. But let's see what I'm doing on the 27th. Anyways, I feel like that far in the month, I don't think I'm doing Calgary. Let's see here, 27th. Or am I? Let's see here. What am I doing on the 27th? Oh my gosh, I am going. I am coming back from Calgary on the 20. No, I'm on the 28th actually. I'm doing the red eye on the night of the 27th into the 28th. So if you're on the red eye, midnight 55 on the 28th, technically, I will be flying that leg back actually. But yeah, if you want to ask other questions about the Embraer, feel free. I will try and answer them in between all the other stuff going on around here. But good, it was boring for the first little while. You're not in the red eye? Yeah. It's probably better for you anyways. Nobody actually really wants to get on a red eye.
And Edmonton Center, Air Canada 207 Heavy, 3,200, climbing 6,000, heading of 120.
Why can't I see him? Air Canada 207 Heavy. I don't see you on the radar yet. Make sure the transponder's on, please.
Apologies. Looks like we set our TCAS, but not our mode Charlie. Sorry about that. Air Canada 207 Heavy.
Air Canada 207 Heavy, no problem. Just helps make finding it a little bit easier. You're identified climbing through 5,000. Climb at 16,000.
From climb 16,000 for Air Canada 207 Heavy, and can we request a high-speed departure today? We are quite heavy.
Air Canada 207 Heavy, sorry, say again the request?
Air Canada 207 Heavy, we're requesting a high-speed departure. We're quite heavy.
Yeah, Air Canada 207, that is approved.
Thank you very much, Air Canada 207 Heavy.
And Air Canada 207 Heavy, turn right direct Andy on course.
Turn right direct Andy on course for Air Canada 207 Heavy.
Jazz 788 Bravo Edmonton, say the passing altitude.
Passing 5,500 for 7,000, Jazz 788 Bravo.
Jazz 788 Bravo, thanks. You're identified climb 16,000 and at 6,500 turn right heading 260.
Up to 16,000, 6,500, turn right 160.
I may have said 160 at Jazz 788 Bravo, right turn 260.
260, thank you, Jazz 788 Bravo.
All right, still haven't heard from this WestJet 2216 yet. WestJet 121 Edmonton, you're leaving. Actually, disregard. Vancouver was off, but they're back. 17:55 flight out of Calgary. Yep. Oh, you're going to miss me. I'm going to be sleeping at that point then, getting ready for my red eye. What can you do? So it won't show. Does that mean I have to calculate my own? Yeah. At this point with the VATSIM Studios Embraer 175, yeah, you have to do your own VNAV calculations. The VNAV is not really there in any meaningful way. They've got the vertical profile right now, but they don't have the flights profile on there right now. All it shows you is the green line, which shows you your current vertical descent rate, but it doesn't have like the target profile on there. That's not going to come around for another probably at least a couple months until they basically it's a part of the rewritten FMS. They are rewriting the entire FMS. The one that's currently in the airplane is based sort of layered on top of the Microsoft Flight Simulator FMS, and that one is not in the long run going to be sufficient. So they are trying to, they're rewriting it, and eventually they're going to get a full FMS that's going to be able to show you that vertical profile and calculate the proper vertical profile, speed profiles, everything else. So they have to rewrite it completely. So that's going to be, it's going to be a bit of a long process, but they will get there. Correction, Air Canada 207 Heavy, climb to level 280.
Maintaining 280 for Air Canada 207 Heavy.
WestJet 121, contact Vancouver Center now, 133.7. G'day.
Right to Vancouver Center, 133.7. Thanks for the help, WestJet 121.
Jazz 788 Bravo, turn right direct Cursa on course.
Right direct Cursa on course, 788 Bravo.
All right, we're getting there. This guy's slowly making his way up to, he's still got, what, this about 300 miles to go? 400 miles to go. Still an hour for WestJet 221 to get to Yellowknife. The Yellowknife's a bit far. 17:55 flight out of Calgary. I could probably look up a flight number pretty darn quickly, too. Let's see here. I can just search on, what day was it, the 27th? I can search leaving YYZ on the 27th. YYZ. Should be able to find this information, but it doesn't seem to want to. There we go. Let's see here. Leaving Calgary on the 27th. Actually, Calgary.
Edmonton Center, good day. WestJet 2216 requesting I-5 clearance to Belize Airport with
That's
information, Charlie.
WestJet 2216, Edmonton, g'day. You're cleared to Belize via the Stampede 1 departure. Radar vectors GAD-key, flight plan route. Departure runway 17 left, squawk code 0237.
Roger, cleared to Belize International Airport via the Stampede 1 departure and radar vectors to GAD-key. Runway 17 left for departure and squawk 0237, WestJet 2216.
WestJet 2216, thanks. That readback is correct. Information, let's see here, Calgary. Information, Charlie is current. Push and start at your discretion. Call me ready for taxi.
Call you ready to taxi, WestJet 2216.
Jazz 788 Bravo, climb flight level 220.
220, Jazz 788 Bravo.
And Nomad, your flight number is 148. I found it in our system. Air Canada 207 Heavy, climb flight level 380.
Plan 380, Air Canada 207 Heavy.
That'll help when you go to the airport. Yeah, that definitely will be a helpful feature, knowing what flight you're on. Of course, I didn't know today either what flight I was on because my flight got canceled and I had to go and get rebooked on another flight. And they booked me on one flight, but then they called up and then they called up and said, actually, we want you to fly on a different flight. So I had boarding passes for 2 different flights, and couldn't even check in for the flight they actually wanted me to go on. Oh, it was just ridiculous. And I walked back and forth to like 2 different gates, and it was a joy. Today was just a joy. Didn't even do any work, and I was exhausted. It was a little bit frustrating to deal with. Not surprising people don't enjoy dealing with airlines when they don't treat their own employees particularly well. It's no wonder that the customers don't really want to deal with it either. I don't blame them. It's frustrating. Most of the time, it's been pretty good. This was actually unusual. It was just a bit of a glitchy day, just because the way the cancellation came down and the rebooking, and the rebooking kind of went into the system, but it didn't go into the system fast enough. And one of the pilots on here said they've been watching the channel and they've been watching the channel, and the Embraer tutorial found the Embraer tutorials very helpful. So I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that they're enjoying that. And that's because that's actually what they're flying right now is the Embraer. So last tutorial is on its way, and then we got to talk about things like single engine taxi and go arounds and things like that. I mean, go arounds not too exciting in the Embraer really. Push the button with the autopilot on, and it does it all on its own. You don't have to do much. It's a pretty good airplane for doing a go around. It flies itself very nicely like that. Yeah, one of the last times I remember we had to do a go around, I actually had the autopilot off and I actually put it back on before I did the go around because it's just easier. I mean, you can hand fly the go around and it's fine, but it's easier, especially just because when a go around happens, there's a change in situational awareness. There's a change from the intended plan, so things are not going well, and you kind of need the management going on. You don't just need the flying skills, but you need the management as well. So I find it's much easier to do a go around on the autopilot. Let the autopilot fly the go around, which is again it's a pretty big trajectory change. And also, then there's got to be a lot of situational awareness. A lot of management happens at that point. You've got to you've got to decide whether or not we can come back, evaluate the fuel situation. There's a lot of stuff that kind of happens from a management perspective really quickly, resequencing the approach and making sure it's all ready to go. Oh, it does say Vancouver. How long has that said Vancouver for and nobody said anything? Thanks. I guess we know what the last thing I streamed was. There it is. That's funny. I've sat here for an hour and 48 minutes and nobody has bothered to say that it's Vancouver at the bottom.
Radar Flare 570 radio taxi.
There we go. That should fix it now. Give it a second. It'll reload that. Flare 570 Edmonton. Information is Charlie. The altimeter is 299.5. Taxi for runway 12 via apron, your discretion, Alpha and Bravo.
Okay, taxi 12, apron, Alpha, Bravo, Flare 570.
Flying the new X-Craft E-Jets, but nonetheless, your tutorials are pretty darn good to follow along. Yeah, and so well, yeah, my tutorials are kind of lousy when you compare it to the X-Craft's X-plane Embraers, just because that's not what I'm flying. I'm flying them. Yeah, I could give you the basics, but it's really hard for me to kind of show stuff when a lot of the stuff does not work. Uh, just lurking quietly. Okay. Jazz 788 Bravo Edmonton. For your planning purposes, is runway 20 for arrival in Edmonton. Information Charlie.
Copy that, runway 20. We're set up for the Arnav Zulu on for runway 20 with the Vol Gap, if that works.
Jazz 788 Bravo. Copy the Arnav Zulu. You can plan on that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's what was I saying? Lost my train of thought completely. Oh yeah, no, this guy's talking to me about the Embraer, and yeah, I'm doing my best with the tutorial videos, and I probably will have to remake them when the new and improved FMS system comes out. I will have to remake my tutorial videos after that because it's going to be completely different. Being able to show you exactly what it's supposed to do. I kind of talk in my videos and my tutorial videos about how it's supposed to work, and then I kind of show you the kludge of trying to force it to work the way it's programmed right now. But these developers, they're asking lots of intelligent questions about the aircraft, why things show up the way they do, how do we fly them normally, what are our SOPs. They're asking lots of good questions. So I think when the FMS system gets rewritten, that's going to just completely change the equation. The only thing that worries me is that it's going to impact the performance again. They had performance problems. They've got the performance back up again to a pretty reasonable level. I just hope that when they do this customized FMS, it doesn't really penalize the performance too much because it's gonna be complex. The Embraer FMS system is very complex. It's not quite up there with Airbus, but it's getting pretty close. It doesn't do a lot of the crazy stuff that the Airbus does, but it does have full cost indexing. It's got full VNAV planning, winds compensation. The thrust system is programmed through the FMS, kind of like the Airbus. You pick your flex settings, but even the anti-ice is selected through the FMS interface. So lots of stuff happens to the FMS interface. So yeah, it's gonna be complicated for them to rewrite it. I think it's gonna be good in the end. I really do. I think when they get it all set up properly, it's gonna look really good. But they're not even close to that yet. WestJet 427, contact Vancouver Center on 133.7. Have a great day.
Over to 133.7, thanks to the ATC. WestJet 47.
Take care. There goes the flare taxiing out. Jazz is on his way.
Edmonton Radio, good afternoon, WestJet 514 with you at 350.
Oh, WestJet 514, Edmonton Center, hello. So we got a couple of airplanes inbound to a couple places. It's definitely been nice and steady, though. That first hour was a little bit quiet, a little bit boring, to be honest. I'm glad it's kind of opened up, though. It's been yeah. So next week I am hoping to do a flight stream, as I kind of alluded to earlier. I don't know 100% when it's going to be. I'm hoping it's going to be either the the Monday or the Tuesday. I don't think it's going to happen on Sunday. Maybe it might happen on Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. I'm really kind of trying to sort of make some mental plans. So I've got a couple of things I've got to ask. But I hope to do a flight stream to Dallas, Portland down to Dallas in the first week next. WestJet 221 Edmonton, squawk new code 0104.
Sorry, was that for WestJet 2216?
Negative. That's for WestJet 221. WestJet 221, squawk 0104. No, he stepped away because nothing's happened to him yet. Jazz 788 Bravo Edmonton, when ready to send 8,000. Edmonton altimeter is 29905.
When ready down to 8,000 and 2995. Thank you, Jazz 788 Bravo.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next flight stream as well, because I've enabled channel points at the bottom of my screen there. Head shoot man, going to sleep, have a nice rest. Head shoot man, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Thank you for keeping it interesting by asking some really interesting questions that got me thinking and made the stream a little bit more interesting when it was kind of quiet. So appreciate that, and hopefully we'll see you again next time I put together a stream here. If you have any more questions, especially VATSIM related, you can go ahead and throw in some replies to my videos there. I usually am pretty good about replying to videos within a day or two at the most. So if you have any more questions,
Your name is Center Flare 570, so short 12, fully ready.
Flare 570 Edmonton, contact me once you're airborne. Edmonton winds 220 clear for takeoff, runway 12.
Hey, copy the wind, square for takeoff, runway 12, Flare 570.
Yeah, have yourself a good night, and hopefully we'll catch on the next stream. WestJet 221 Edmonton.
Edmonton Center, WestJet 221, go ahead.
Yeah, WestJet 221. I just need you to squawk a new code now, 0104.
Squawking 0104, WestJet 221.
WestJet 221, thanks. WestJet 514 Edmonton. Information in Edmonton is Charlie. Plan runway 20 for arrival.
Roger that. We have Charlie, and we will go for RNAV Zulu 20 in Edmonton, WestJet 514.
WestJet 514, copy requesting the RNAV Zulu. You can plan on that. When ready, descend flight level 290.
290 when ready, WestJet 514.
Goes flare rolling.
Center, WestJet 2216 requesting taxi to runway 17 left with Charlie.
WestJet 2216 Edmonton. Can't tell which way are you facing north there?
Affirmative. We are facing north.
All right, WestJet 2216, runway 17 left. Information Charlie, altimeter 296. Turn right on the apron, and then taxi Echo Alpha, Echo, Bravo, and Delta. Hold short 17 left.
Roger, we'll turn right on the apron and taxi Echo Alpha, Echo Bravo, and Delta. Hold short 17 left. Mr. 2216.
Roger.
And Edmonton Center, Flare 570, climbing through 3,900 for 5.
Flare 570 Edmonton, thank you, identified. Climb 7,000.
That's 7,000, Flare 570.
Flare 570, turn right, direct Andy on course.
Right, direct Andy on course, Flare 570.
Yeah, just keeping him at 7 for a second. I don't think it's going to be a conflict because my Jazz is still fairly far away here. Yeah, it's not going to be a problem. All right, somebody's messaging me just telling me they're happy to get some ATC. Flare 570 Edmonton, continue climb 16,000.
Continue climb 16,000, Flare 570.
All right. Jazz 788 Bravo, proceed direct FOGAP.
Direct VOGAP, Jazz 790 Bravo.
Yeah, yeah, I must have brought them all in. Makes it a lot more interesting when stuff is happening because that first hour was kind of boring. At least Head Shoot Man had a whole bunch of stuff to talk about and questions, and kind of made me think a little bit. It's like I know so many. The Airbus is so complicated. You can't memorize it all. You got to know how to look up stuff, and that's probably one of the most interesting challenges these days. Is there's so much information at your fingertips. We all have EFBs, tablets with all this information in it, but finding it when you want it, oh my God. Air Canada 207 Heavy, contact Vancouver Center now, 133.7. Have a good night.
Alright, over to Vancouver Center on 133.7. Thank you for the help. You have a great night. Airtank 207 Heavy.
Take care. All right. Unfortunately, we're starting to lose a little bit of our traffic now. Hopefully, we got a few more inbounds. Yeah, at least a couple guys on the ground in Vancouver here. 2 to Calgary. Yeah, all right. So if we stick here for long enough, eventually some stuff will happen. Krill. No more Edmonton inbounds, but at least we got a couple of... All right. Jazz 788 Bravo, descend 6,000.
6,000, Jazz 788 Bravo.
Flare 570, continue climb, flight level 280.
Can you have the 280 or Flare 570?
Poor computer is getting pretty toasty warm here with all this streaming and audio stuff working together. It's not nearly as bad as running a flight simulator, obviously, but it's not great. All right, so not too much going on right now. Just now, this guy's gonna, yeah, and he takes a left turn, so that's fine. Yeah, it's designed that way. 2 parallel routes here. So here's the arrivals to Edmonton. There's the departures from Edmonton. So it's designed to make sure these routes don't cross too much. It's almost like those Nav Canada plate designers know what they're doing. Got a couple more on the ground here in Calgary, though. Maybe that 686 will turn around and go back out again. I got 2 on the ground here with no flight plan right now, so maybe they'll do something as well to keep it a little interesting. And like I said, I got 2 on the ground in Vancouver, inbound to Calgary, so it's going to start to get a little bit quiet here, another 20 minutes here, but maybe it'll pick up again afterwards. It's good to see some people watching the stream though, and it's just nice to be online and controlling too. And it's not super hectic. I wish it was a little bit busier. Oh, and speak of the devil, and there he is. He's filed it. So he's going back to Kamloops. Air Canada 686 going back to Kamloops. All right, no problem, no problem. We can give you a clearance for that. New code, new everything. I love it when people turn around at the gate and just go right back out again, like a real airplane. Like he parked, he let all the passengers off, he filed a new flight plan, set it all up, loaded up some new passengers, and goes. And it's it's not even like they vanish in and off the system. Like he's been there the whole time. And I love doing that too. Like personally, like I love doing flights that are a continuous set of flights. Like you don't do it very often because you really have to be committed to it. But there was a day, like probably about. Let me think here. There was a day probably about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, where I think I did 3 flights in the 320 back to back. I did like Halifax, Toronto, what did I do? I did like Halifax, Toronto, Toronto, Winnipeg, Winnipeg, and Vancouver, or something like that. Like I just kept on going. And I turned it around like without resetting the sim. It's so nice when you can do it without resetting the sim. So often you have to reset the sim because it just doesn't want to work properly. WestJet 514, continue descent 8,000, Edmonton altimeter 299.5.
8,000, WestJet 514.
Flare 570, continue climb, flight level 320.
Up to 320, Flare 570.
It's fun when you can do that, when you can turn around without rebooting the sim. I find with the PMDG, I have a hard time because I feel like the PMDG, I feel like there's a memory leak in there or something because I find like the arrivals, it's always a bit slower than the departures. So I find I tend to have to shut off the PMDG. The PMDG seems to like a reset after every leg, but the Phoenix actually, despite the fact that it's more intense on the processor overall, does not seem to have the same kind of performance leak. It seems to maintain its performance level for multiple legs, which is nice to do. WestJet 2216 Edmonton, contact me once you're airborne. The wind's now 300 at 4, cleared for takeoff, runway 17 left.
Roger, we'll contact you airborne and clear takeoff runway 17 left, and we'll be advised of that wind. WestJet 2216.
Yeah, sorry about that. Looks like we might have to switch to a north flow now. Let's just check the TAF before I do like a change here because it's pretty light. 300 at 4. It's a little bit of a northwest wind. Still pretty light. Let's just see if what the TAF has to say here. The TAF is forecasting a northwest wind actually. So maybe we should switch it around. Yeah, all right, we're gonna switch it around here. All right, we're gonna switch Calgary to a north flow now. And even the departures out of Edmonton with the wind's 230 now, that's almost starting to get into a tailwind component there. Let's just do this. Let's do 35s, make it information delta, and we're going to have to contemplate changing this.
Edmonton Center, Arctic 656 on the ground at Cambridge Bay, clearance to Yellowknife.
And Arctic 656 Edmonton, stand by. All right, let's see here. All right, Arctic 656 Edmonton, you're cleared to Yellowknife via your flight plan route. You can climb on course, maintain 2000 initially. Squawk code is 0153. Your clearance is valid now, cancelled if not airborne by 0125 Zulu.
Cleared to Yellowknife via flight plan route, cleared on course, maintain 12,000, 0153, and clears void if not off by 0125 Zulu, Arctic 656.
Arctic 656, that readback is all correct. Do you need the Cambridge Way weather?
Negative, we have weather on the Arctic 656, thanks.
Arctic 656, Roger. You can return to the local advisory frequency and give me a call this frequency, airborne.
Give you a call soon, Arctic 656.
Edmonton Center, WestJet 2216, airborne passing 6,000 feet.
WestJet 2216 Edmonton, thank you. You're identified. Climb 16,000 and proceed direct GAD key on course.
Roger, climb 16,000 and direct GAD key on course, WestJet 2216.
Okay. got these two inbounds. I got these outbounds. There's something I was going to look at, but I've forgotten already what I was going to look at. What was I going to look at? Yeah, shoot. I hate that. You're going through stuff here and you get distracted. Okay, I'm going to remove the Resolute Bay because I don't need that anymore. Oh, that's right. I was going to look at the winds here in Edmonton and consider a runway change. As soon as I get these two guys out of here. Okay, yeah, we're going to change that one up a little bit there. Let's see, Fort Mac is still good on 2.6. Yeah, okay. WestJet 221 Edmonton. The Yellowknife information is Charlie. We're advertising runway 34. When able, advise your requested approach, and when ready, descend flight level 290. He's not always listening. Jazz 788 Bravo, Edmonton, descend 5,000. You're cleared Edmonton, RNAV Zulu, runway 20, VOGAP transition.
Down to 5,000, cleared the RNAV Zulu, runway 20, VOGAP transition. Jazz 788 Bravo.
WestJet 514, proceed direct Dudco.
Direct Bedco, WestJet 514.
WestJet 2216, climb flight level 280.
Flight level, climb flight level 280, WestJet 2216.
Okay. Yeah, so we don't need to switch anybody else up here. Let's do this. Make sure I have what I need here, which is WestJet 221 Edmonton. I was going to start looking at the NOTAMs. Now they've been online for 2 hours. It's probably a little bit late to look at the NOTAMs, but probably better late than never. Let's see what I got in the way of NOTAMs here. And all the airports that I'm dealing with here. Let's see what we got here. Thinking about it. Okay, so CYYC, CYG, oops, F. Research all those. WestJet 514, descend 6,000.
6,000, WestJet 514.
WestJet 221 Edmonton.
Edmonton Center, WestJet 221.
WestJet 221 Edmonton. Information in Yellowknife is Delta, runway 34. When able, say requested approach, and when ready, you're cleared to flight level 290.
Edmonton Center, WestJet 221. We'd like to request the RNAV Yankee approach for runway 34, and we'll report leaving flight level 360 for 290, WestJet 221.
WestJet 221, I copy your request in the RNAV Yankee, and you can proceed direct OMTAX.
Okay, Roger, cleared the RNAV Yankee and direct to OMTAX, WestJet 221.
And WestJet 221 negative, you're not cleared for the approach just yet. You can expect it, but for now, proceed direct OMTAX.
Okay, Roger, not expecting RNAV Yankee for 34 and direct the OMTAX, WestJet 221.
Roger. Jazz 788 Bravo, the Edmonton winds 230 at 7, clear to land, runway 20.
Clear to land, runway 20, Jazz 78 Bravo.
All right, so let's just have a look at my NOTAMs that I pulled up here and see if anything impacts any of the stuff that I have, any of the places we're operating here. All right, so Cambridge Bay, got some dry runways there, that's always good. Edmonton, ILS runway 2 out of service. All right, so we're going to amend our ATIS here for Edmonton. We're just going to make it runway 30, I think. So even as I'm messing with this more and more, and now that I've read the NOTAMs, there's construction on 20, so we're just going to make it easy. We're just going to make it 30 single. WestJet 514 Edmonton, descend 5,000 at Dudco, cleared Edmonton, RNAV Zulu, runway 20.
5000 cleared RNAV Zulu 20 via Dudco, WestJet 514.
WestJet 2216, climb flight level 370.
Flying flight level 370, WestJet 2216.
See, and this is one of those things that I really should have made more of a point of doing this, because the NOTAMs add an interesting edge to what you're doing with on VATSIM, because you've got sort of the standard operations, and then as soon as you throw on some NOTAMs, a few things are closed. It makes life a little bit more interesting. Gives you a few changes from what's otherwise expected. Oh, what day is it today? Oh, runway 1634 is actually closed. Oh, okay. And WestJet 221 Edmonton.
Edmonton Center, WestJet 221, go.
And WestJet 221, I've just been looking through the NOTAMs here, and it looks like actually 1634 is closed until next week sometime. Do you want to change to 1028? I guess, let's see, the winds probably favor 10 a little bit here.
Roger that. We can take the RNAV Yankee for runway 10.
All right, WestJet 221, Roger. Sorry about the late notice on that. I just discovered that myself. So let's get you direct to WestJet 221. You can proceed direct ERMAG.
Okay, Roger that. WestJet 221 is cleared direct ERMAG.
Air Canada 771, IFR off to San Francisco, information echo.
Air Canada 7771, just stand by one. I'll be back with you in about 2 minutes here. All right, let's see. So this guy's going to Edmonton down to San Francisco. All right. Air Canada 7771 Edmonton. You're cleared to San Francisco via the MyPot 1 departure, Vectors Ukram flight plan route. Departure runway 30, squawk code 0715.
Cleared off to San Francisco, sorry, my Pod 1 departure, Vectors Okram, runway 30, squawk 0715, Air Canada 7771.
Okay, 7771, that readback is correct. The information in Edmonton is now Foxtrot. Push back and start up at your discretion and call ready for taxi.
Roger, we'll get Foxtrot and push back our discretion, Air Canada 111, thank you.
Jazz 788 Bravo, you can start taxiing down Bravo. What gate are you going to?
I have no idea, Rob, what gate I'm going to. I was hoping you might tell me.
Okay, Jazz 788 Bravo, stand by. I'll just turn right on Bravo, start taxiing. I'll have a gate for you in a moment here.
Copy that.
What's the 514 lined up on final for runway 20?
WestJet 514 Edmonton, the wind's 240 at 5, clear to land, runway 20.
Clear to land 20, WestJet 514, thank you.
All right, from Calgary, Jazz.
Edmonton Radio, good evening, Air Canada 186, have you checking in for level 370.
Air Canada 186, flight level 370, Edmonton, hello. Jazz 788 Bravo, we're going to give you gate 54, so taxi Bravo, Alpha, and Oscar for gate 54.
Bravo, Alpha, Oscar, gate 54, thank you.
Okay, lots of people on the ground in back there. Flare 570, contact Edmonton Center, 133.7, get 8.
Was that Edmonton Center for 1337?
I don't know why I keep doing that. Flare 570, contact Vancouver Center on 133.7.
No worries, no worries. Vancouver, 1337. Have a great night. Flare 570.
Good night. All right, so he's got his clearance. He's got
Edmonton Radio, good evening, Horizon Air 2099 Calgary with Echo on board. When you have the time, clearance to Portland, please.
All right, Horizon 2019 Edmonton, good evening. You're cleared to Portland via the Stampede 1 departure, radar vectors, BOTAG flight plan route, departure runway 17 right, squawk code 2476.
Vector to Portland, Stampede 1, radar vectors to the BOTAG, then flight plan route off of 35 right and squawk 2476 Horizon Air 2019.
And Horizon Air 2019, yeah, I gave you the wrong runway. My apologies, because we only just changed to a north flow. Your departure runway is going to be 35 left.
No problem, we'll take the left side of the Horizon Air 2019.
Horizon Air 2019, thank you. The readback is correct. Information is, let's see here, in Calgary, it's Echo. Push back and start up at your discretion. Call ready for taxi.
Yeah, Echo will call for taxi, Horizon Air 2019, thank you.
Just going to move some of this stuff over and make more space to see what I'm doing here. There we go. That's better. All right, he's...
Edmonton Center, WestJet 221, leaving flight level 360 for 290.
WestJet 221 Edmonton, thank you. WestJet 221, descend 3000. Yellowknife altimeter is, where is it here? 3017.
100, descend 3000, WestJet 221.
For some of my ATIS is all wonky here. I had beautiful ATIS summary, and now I love this software when it works, but it doesn't work sometimes. It doesn't draw everything. It draws like one part of it and not the other parts of it. There we go. Now it drew all four of them nicely. Okay, perfect. It took a little while to get that worked out.
Edmonton Radio, good evening. This is WestJet 519er.
WestJet 519er, Edmonton. WestJet 514, welcome to Edmonton. Do you have a gate?
Number 35, requesting IFR clearance to Vancouver.
WestJet 514, welcome to Edmonton. You have a gate?
WestJet 514, no, we just cleared on Bravo for any gate.
WestJet 514, okay, we'll just keep on moving along the line here. You can plan gate 52, so taxi Bravo Alpha Oscar for gate 52.
Bravo Alpha Oscar for gate 52, WestJet 514, thank you.
And WestJet 519 Edmonton, I don't see a flight plan for you. If you can hit refile for me.
Roger, we just refiled, sorry about that, WestJet 519er.
WestJet 519er, no problem at all. I got it there now. Just give me one moment. All right, WestJet 519er, you're cleared to the Vancouver airport via the Stampede 1 departure, radar vectors bow tag, flight plan route. Departure runway is 35 left, squawk code 0430.
Edmonton Radio, say again, departure please, for WestJet 519er.
WestJet 519er, it's the Stampede 1 departure.
Roger, Stampede 1 departure, 35 left, and squawk 0430 for WestJet 519er.
WestJet 519er, that readback is correct. Information Echo is current in Calgary. Pushback and startup at your discretion. Call me ready for taxi.
Roger, pushback at our discretion, we'll call for taxi, WestJet 519er, thanks.
WestJet 2216 Edmonton, you're about to leave my airspace to the south. The Salt Lake Center is not online. You can switch to the en route frequencies. Surveillance service terminates. Have a great day.
Roger, switch en route frequencies. WestJet 2216, thanks for the services, and have a good rest of your night.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Edmonton, WestJet 125 with Echo ready to copy IFR to Vancouver.
WestJet 125 Edmonton, good afternoon. You're cleared to Vancouver via the Stampede 1 departure, radar vectors bow tag, flight plan route, departure 35 left, squawk code 0431.
Clear to Vancouver via Stampede 1 departure, radar vectors bow tag, 35 left, squawk 0431, WestJet 125.
WestJet 125, that readback is correct. Information Echo is current in Calgary. Pushback and startup at your discretion and call ready for taxi.
Push and start at my discretion and we'll call it for taxi. WestJet 125.
All right, this guy's altitude is incorrect. We'll have to do something about that one, I guess. Almost slid that one by me. All right, what time is it now? Now it's 1:30 Zulu. So my original stream plan was to end at around 02 Zulu. I'm probably going to try to stick to that just because of the time I have to get up in the morning.
November 324 Sierra, radio check.
November 324 Sierra, Edmonton Center, reach you 5x5.
Copy 324 Sierra.
Lots of people on the ground here in Calgary now. We got 4 departures out of Calgary. This could get interesting. But yeah, I'm probably going to stick to this. We'll see how the time goes, and we'll see how busy it is. I'll try not to lead if anybody in the lurch, but I'm not going to stick around too much past the 020 Zulu's deadline, just because, like I said, I got to get up. I got to go to bed at a reasonable hour so I can get up for work at a reasonable hour. So yeah, it doesn't even look that late outside, but trouble with this time of year. The
Number 324 Sierra, requesting IFR clearance to Portland with information echo.
November 324 Sierra, Edmonton, good evening. Your altitude is incorrect for the direction of flight. Would you like 32 or 30 for the final?
32 is okay.
All right, November 324 Sierra, I've made that amendment to your clearance. You can, you're cleared to Portland via the Stampede 1 departure, radar vectors bow tag, flight plan route, depart runway 35 left, squawk code 0262.
35 left 0262, November 324 Sierra, thanks.
And November 324 Sierra, just confirm the Stampede 1 departure.
Stampede 1 departure, 324 Sierra.
November 324 Sierra, thank you. The readback is correct. Start up at your discretion. Call me when you're ready for taxi. Information is echo.
Will do. 324 Sierra, thanks.
And that Arctic 656 never got airborne, did he? Out of Cambridge Bay there. I'm pretty sure his clearance expired 5 minutes ago.
Sierra, what runway should we expect for departure?
November 324 Sierra, runway 35 left.
35 left, thanks.
Arctic 656 Edmonton, any chance you're on frequency? WestJet 221 Edmonton, you're cleared Yellowknife Airport, RNAV Yankee, runway 10, Ermag transition.
Roger, WestJet 221 cleared the RNAV Yankee, runway 10, Ermag transition.
WestJet 221, roger. Okay, we got an inbound to Calgary here. Should be able to get this Calgary inbound.
Air Canada 771, ready for taxi.
Air Canada 771 Edmonton, runway 30, information Foxtrot, altimeter 299.5, taxi apron your discretion, Alpha Echo Alpha.
Alpha Echo Alpha 30, hold short, Air Canada 771.
At this point, I could just sort of zoom in on this runway since it's the only runway I'm using. Love it. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, he's cleared for his approach. This guy's just trucking through my airspace on his way to the Tirana, but I got flare inbound here. He's going to be down at 0208, so I think we'll probably stick around for this guy to land. But it's one of those cases where like we're not going to spend too much extra time on this here. Like I said, I do got to go to bed at a reasonable hour. So if you guys want to have some, what I'm trying to say here. If you guys have any questions you want to ask, please feel free. Yeah, I don't see anybody that I know online right now, so I don't know if we're going to do any raids when we're done with this. But I guess Nomad was just hanging out and was not actually streaming today. Hey, we all need a break from it. I don't need a break because I never do it, but if I did it a lot, I'd need a break from it. This is like I said, this is the first ATC stream in like a month at least, maybe more. So, all right, 771 is in the taxi out there. Looks like Horizon pushed back into the alley there, or he's in the middle of the pushback anyways. WestJet 519 still at the gate, 125 still at the gate. We got some stuff going on here. It's not completely devoid of activity, at least. It's not as hectic as some days in Toronto, but it's been nice and steady. I've enjoyed this. It's been a good amount of activity.
November 324 Sierra, ready for taxi.
November 324 Sierra, Edmonton, runway 35 left, information, Echo, altimeter 2991. Let's see here, for you, taxi Foxtrot, Foxtrot Golf and Charlie, cross runway 29er and 26. Pardon me.
Foxtrot, you say Foxtrot Charlie Golf or Foxtrot Golf Charlie for 324 Sierra?
Number 324 Sierra, Foxtrot Golf Charlie, cross runway 29er and 26.
Foxtrot Golf Sierra, or Foxtrot Golf Charlie, cross 29, cross 26, 324 Sierra.
Roger. He's getting there. Make sure I have the Edmonton winds up and ready to go.
Edmonton Center, WestJet 125, ready for taxi.
WestJet 125, Edmonton, runway 35 left, information, Echo, altimeter 297. Taxi Juliet Romeo, Juliet, Charlie, hold short 29er.
Taxi Juliet Romeo, Juliet Charlie, hold short 29er, WestJet 125. Horizon Air 2019, Echo's on board at Calgary, ready for taxi.
Horizon Air 2019, Edmonton, it is information Echo, altimeter 2997, runway 35 left. Taxi Juliet Sierra, short Juliet.
Juliet Sierra, short Juliet, Horizon Air 2019.
WestJet 221 Edmonton, no further traffic observed reported between you and Yellowknife. You can actually disregard. What am I doing? It's a controlled airport. All right, everyone's taxiing out at the same time here. WestJet 514 is going to Portland as well. All right. 30. My pot 1. Reset the altitude. New transponder. Horizon Air 2019, you're going to see WestJet 37 westbound on Juliet. You can follow them, taxi Juliet Charlie, cross runway 29er and 26.
Oh, we're giving what is WestJet 73, we'll follow them on Juliet Charlie, crossing 29 and 26, Horizon Air 2019.
Air Canada 7771 Edmonton, contact me once you're airborne. The wind's 230 at 3, clear for takeoff, runway 30.
Clear for takeoff, runway 30, contact you when airborne, Air Canada 7771.
Just wait to see where this 324 Sierra, the Citation, starts taxiing there. It's got my good old longitude. I like the longitude. Now we got a couple airplanes moving around here. Citation's not moving. Oh, now he's moving. Now he's moving, and now we got lots of people logging in. Now I got six departures on the ground, 7 departures on the ground here. All right, let's see what we're doing here. WestJet 125 Edmonton, you're going to see a citation off your left side about your 10 o'clock, just turning onto Golf. He's going to be ahead of you. Give way to him, and then you're cleared to taxi Charlie, cross runway 29er and 26.
WestJet 125, moving to 29er, have the traffic that I will follow to my left.
And WestJet 125, thanks. Confirm you're cleared to cross runway 29er and 26.
Yep, cleared to cross runway 29er and 26 behind the traffic. WestJet 125.
Number 324 Sierra, sorry about the delay.
No problem. Timing worked out just about right.
Air Canada 7771 passing 4.2.
Air Canada 7771 Edmonton identified. Continue climb 16,000.
16,000 Air Canada 7771.
Edmonton Center, hello again, WestJet 514 back with you. We have information Foxtrot and we are looking for IFR to Portland.
WestJet 514 Edmonton, you're cleared to Portland via the MyPot 1 departure. Radar vectors to Hampo, flight plan route, depart runway 30, squawk code 0473.
Clear to Portland on the MyPot 1 departure, Hambo transition. Runway is 30 and squawk 0473 for WestJet 514.
Air Canada 771, turn left direct Ukram on course.
Left direct Ukram, Air Canada 7771.
WestJet 514, the readback is correct. Information Foxtrot is current. Push and start at your discretion. Call me ready for taxi.
Thank you. We'll go for taxi, WestJet 514.
WestJet 221, Yellowknife winds 330 at 9er, clear to land, runway 10.
Copy, the wind's cleared to land, runway 10, WestJet 221.
All right, it's interesting. We got stuff going on here. You know what I need? I need the Yellowknife. What should be that one? There we go. Yellowknife is up and running. Don't know whatever happened to that Arctic. Never managed to get off the ground. And then you get guys like this that pop off just at the end of your airspace. Just dodged my airspace, logged back in as soon as he cleared my airspace. Air Canada 7771 Edmonton, continue climb, flight level 280.
280 Air Canada 7771.
All right, Calgary. Citation November 324 Sierra Edmonton. Contact me once you're airborne. Calgary winds 260, 14, gust 19. Clear for takeoff, runway 35 left.
Number 324 Sierra, clear for takeoff. We'll contact when airborne.
WestJet 125 Edmonton, space permitting behind the departing citation, lineup only, runway 35 left.
Behind the departing citation, lineup only 35 left, WestJet 125.
Not too much on the scope right now, but it's about to get busy. And it'll actually work out really well. I've got all these westbound departures. They'll be airborne. I'll get them off to Vancouver Center before I log off, so they should get some continuous ATC, which is my goal. Like, as much as possible, I try to give people continuous ATC whenever it's within my purview. Doesn't always work out, but I try.
November 324 Sierra, to 5,000.
November 324 Sierra, say your passing altitude.
Passing 3800.
November 324 Sierra, and just confirm your squawking code 0262.
0262, sorry about that.
I do it too, so I'm not going to complain too much. November 324 Sierra, thank you very much. You're identified. Climb 16,000.
Climb 16,000, 324 Sierra.
WestJet 125 Edmonton, contact me once you're airborne. Calgary winds 260, 14 gust 20, clear for takeoff, runway 35 left.
Contact you once airborne and cleared to take off, runway 35 left, WestJet 125.
Horizon Air 2019 Edmonton, space permitting behind the departing 73, line up, runway 35 left.
Line up away 35 left, Horizon Air 2019.
November 324 Sierra, turn left direct bow tag on course.
Left direct bow tag 324 Sierra.
Okay, he should be touching down any minute.
Edmonton Radio, WestJet 519er, ready to taxi.
Air Canada 7771, climb flight level 360. Air Canada 7771, climb flight level 380. WestJet 519er Edmonton, runway 35 left, information Echo and the altimeter 2997. Taxi apron your discretion, Golf, Charlie, cross runway 29er and 26.
Roger, we have Echo, taxi via the terminal, Golf, Charlie, cross runway 29er and runway 26 for WestJet 519er.
Horizon Air 2019 Edmonton, contact me once you're airborne, winds 260 at 16, clear for takeoff 35 left.
We'll call you in the air, clear for takeoff 25 left, Horizon Air 2019.
WestJet 221, welcome to Yellowknife, taxi Charlie Bravo, apron your discretion.
5 is approaching.
Taxi Charlie Bravo to the apron, WestJet 221.
6,600.
And WestJet 125, you're identified, climb 10,000.
Climb 10,000, WestJet 125.
November 324 Sierra, speed 300 knots or faster if you're able.
300 knots or faster. Will help.
November 324 Sierra, thanks. And climb flight level 280.
280, 324 Sierra.
WestJet 125, you'll be on the runway heading for about another 2 minutes for in-trail spacing.
Roger, runway heading for another 2 minutes, WestJet 125.
Air Canada 7771, climb flight level 360.
360, Air Canada 7771.
Air Canada 186 Heavy Edmonton, you're about to leave my airspace to the east. Winnipeg's not online. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
Roger, we're opening to combat 122 this way. Air Canada 186 Heavy, good night.
Good night.
Horizon Air 2019, 4.4 thousand for 7,000.
Horizon Air 2019 Edmonton, thank you. You're identified. Climb 9,000.
9,000, Horizon Air 2019.
WestJet 125, turn left direct bow tag on course.
Left direct bow tag on course, WestJet 125.
WestJet 125, climb 16,000.
16,000, WestJet 125.
Horizon Air 2019, you're going to be on runway heading for about 3 or 4 minutes here for in-trail spacing.
Roger, runway heading, Horizon Air 2019.
WestJet 125, once you're established on the heading, maintain 300 knots for spacing.
Maintain 300 knots once established direct bow tag, WestJet 125.
Horizon Air 2019, climb 16,000.
Up to 16,000, Horizon Air 2019.
WestJet 125, climb flight level 280.
280, WestJet 125.
November 324 Sierra, climb flight level 320. November 324 Sierra, climb flight level 320.
Flight level 320, 324 Sierra.
And Horizon Air 2019, speed 280 knots or less above 10,000.
280 or less above 10,000, Horizon Air 2019.
Horizon Air 2019, thank you. Turn left, direct bow tag on course.
Left direct, bow tag on course, Horizon Air 2019.
All right. Got some sequencing going on there. I think it's worked out very nicely. Yep, we got a nice little sequence going on here. Nobody's too close together here. All right. Because I got all these guys going the same way here. And then they'll be off to Vancouver. That'll be Vancouver's problem. But I think two of them are going to Portland, right? Two of them are going to Portland. One's going to Vancouver, but they're all going on the same airway. So I got to keep them relatively separated here. WestJet 125, climb flight level 380.
380 from WestJet 125.
Horizon Air 2019, climb flight level 280 and speed 300 or less.
Level 280, 300 or less for the speed, Horizon Air 2019.
Where's this flare guy? Flare 206, are you with Edmonton?
Affirm, Flare 206 is at flight level 240.
Flare 206, I show you at flight level 346 right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, we're at flight level 350. Correction, sorry.
Flare 206, okay, just want to make sure that is working correctly. Information in Calgary is Echo. Plan runway 35 left. When ready, descend flight level 290.
Roger, we have information Echo at Calgary, expect 25 left, and when we're ready, we'll descend to flight level 290 for Flare 206.
And this is not working out here somehow. And November 324 Sierra, are you speed 300 or faster?
We are currently full throttle at 253.
All right, 324 Sierra. All right, I guess speed 250 knots or faster.
250 or faster. We're reducing our vertical speed. Try to get some speed up. 324 Sierra.
Thank you. I need the horizontal speed more than the vertical.
Gotcha. 324 Sierra.
WestJet 125, speed 250 knots for now, and I'll try to get you sped up here in a little bit.
Flying to 250, WestJet 125.
November 324 Sierra. You also look like you're a little bit off course there. Just make sure you're still nav your next waypoint. I'm showing it as Binvo.
Yeah, it seems we have a bit of a disconnect. One moment, 324 Sierra.
Okay, thank you. And Flare 206, Edmonton, continue descent 9,000. The Calgary altimeter is 297.
Roger.
And Flare 206, I need a read back on the altitude 9,000.
290,000, correct? You said?
Flare 206, descend 9,000.
Descending 9,000 for Flare 206. Sorry about that.
No problem. All right. What's really weird about tonight is that there hasn't been like a single high-level overflight in the northern half of my airspace. Normally you get a couple here. Actually, oh, wait a second. There is somebody there kind of coming in. He's thinking about coming in my airspace anyways, but he's just airborne off of Fairbanks now. He's not going to make it in time because we're going to be shutting it down here in the next 15 minutes or so. Got to start thinking about going to bed already. It's been a long day. Anyways, I'm tired. It's been fun, but it's been long. All right, let's get rid of that, replace it with this. Yeah, starting running out of things to talk about, and I'm kind of running out of energy too, so yeah, not going to go much longer on this. I feel like I could be wrong. I was right. What do you know? I know what I'm talking about sometimes. All right. And Flare 206, do you want the ILS to runway 35 left?
Affirm, if that's possible, we'll take the ILS for 35 left, please, for Flare 206.
Flare 206, roger, you can blend the ILS. WestJet 125 Edmonton, your speed restriction is cancelled, passing through flight level 330.
Speed restriction cancelled after passing 330, WestJet 125.
And Horizon 2019, did you want to go any faster than 300 knots, or what's your plan indicated in the climb?
The climb is 270. I'm on the cruise. It's going to be 290, I believe. Horizon Air 2019.
All right, Horizon Air 2019, that should work. Your speed restriction's canceled.
WestJet 514 is ready to taxi with Foxtrot.
All right, first WestJet 519, contact me once you're airborne. The Calgary winds 270, 11 gusting 20, clear for takeoff, runway 35 left.
Roger, we'll contact you once airborne, clear to takeoff, runway 35 left, WestJet 419, thanks.
And WestJet 514, you said you're ready to taxi?
Affirm, ready to taxi, WestJet 514.
WestJet 514, Edmonton, runway 30, information, Foxtrot, altimeter 299.5, taxi, apron your discretion, Alpha, hold short, runway 30.
Affirm, Alpha, hold short 30, WestJet 514.
Okay, anyways, I'm running out of steam here. It looks like this guy's off track and he might be directed at the IF.
Edmonton Center, Air Canada 812, request IFR clearance to Toronto, information Foxtrot.
Air Canada 812, Edmonton, good evening. You're cleared to Toronto via the MyPot 1 departure, vectors Riley, flight plan route, depart runway 30, squawk 0612.
Okay, so we're cleared to Toronto via the MyPot 1 departure, Riley transition, runway 30 and squawk 0612, Air Canada 812.
Air Canada 812, that readback is correct. It is information Foxtrot, push to start at your discretion, call ready for taxi.
Full push and start at discretion, call for taxi, Air Canada 812.
November 324 Sierra, Edmonton, traffic is going to fly over you now, so your speed restriction is cancelled. November 324 Sierra, Edmonton, your speed restriction is cancelled.
Speed restriction canceled, Sierra.
Oh, Vancouver Center logged off again. Logged on, logged off, logged on, logged off. Well then, I guess that's the end of that. All right, I got a couple guys taxiing out here. One guy getting ready to do the approach here. Horizon Air 2019 Edmonton, climb flight level 300.
300, Horizon Air 2019.
Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to switch this. Can I switch the airport around? I didn't even switch the...
Edmonton radio, WestJet 519er, 5,700 climbing 7,000.
WestJet 519er, Edmonton, thank you. Identified, climb 16,000.
Roger, climb 16,000, WestJet 519er.
Flare 206, Edmonton, turn right heading 070 vectors for the ILS.
Turn right heading 070 for vectors for the ILS for Flare 206.
WestJet 519er, turn left direct bow tag on course.
Roger, left to bow tag on course, WestJet 519er.
Flare 206, descend 7,000.
Descend 7,000 for Flare 206.
Air Canada 771, you mind if we step up the pit for 3 minutes?
Air Canada 771's approved. Let me know when you're back.
Wilco.
All right, yeah, I'm running out of things to talk about here, but it's busy enough right now that it's kind of keeping me interested at least. And yeah, I'm starting to feel tired. I can feel myself. I'm running out of energy. It's been a long day. What time is it now? It's been a very long day. I got up very early this morning, so I think I'm getting ready ready to clock out here in a little bit. We got a couple more guys on their way here, in, out, and done. But then we're going to call it a day here very shortly. November 324 Sierra, Edmonton. What's your Mach number in cruise there?
Mach number is 0.839.
November 324 Sierra, perfect. Thank you. You're about to leave my airspace to the west. Vancouver Center. Vancouver Center's not online. You can switch the onboard frequency. Surveillance service terminates. You're going to be overtaken by a 737 most likely here. But he's going to be about 4,000 feet above you, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Copy, thanks for that, 324 Sierra.
WestJet 125 Edmonton, you're about to leave my airspace to the west, and Vancouver's gone offline. You can switch the onward frequency. Surveillance service terminates the traffic you're following there. He's still about 12 miles ahead of you. He's accelerated now, but he's level at 320, so it shouldn't be a conflict.
Yeah, Roger, I have the traffic in sight about 9 miles ahead of me. Thanks for the coverage, and we'll tune to Unicom. See ya, west at 125.
See ya. WestJet 514 Edmonton, contact once you're airborne. The winds are light and variable, clear for takeoff, runway 30.
Clear for takeoff 30, we'll stay with you, airborne WestJet 514.
Flare 206, turn left heading to 020 to intercept, clear the ILS 35 left.
Turn left 020, clear for the ILS for Flare 206.
Air Canada 771, we're back.
Air Canada 771, thank you. Yeah, it's been a long day. Time to get up at 4 o'clock this morning. It's now 10 o'clock. Oh, yeah, it's time to go to bed. Right, he's got his intercept there. It's looking good. Why is this has 10-mile leader lines, 3-mile leader lines in the terminal? Much more useful. WestJet 519er, climb flight level 280.
Climb flight level 280, WestJet 519er.
Horizon Air 2019 Edmonton, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Vancouver is no longer online. On your way to Portland, right now you're about 30 miles in trail of a citation. So it should work out pretty well. Just keep an eye out for him. You can switch the honorary frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
WestJet 514, airborne 3,500.
WestJet 514 Edmonton, thank you. Identified. Climb 16,000.
16,000, WestJet 514.
Horizon Air 2019 Edmonton, did you catch that?
No, go ahead for Horizon Air 2019.
Horizon Air 2019 Edmonton, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Vancouver Centre is no longer online. You can switch the honorary frequency. Surveillance service terminates. The traffic immediately ahead of you, about 15 miles, is on their way to Vancouver, so I believe you're going to diverge after the next waypoint. You're going to be following a citation down to Portland, but he's about 30 miles ahead, so should not be a conflict. Just keep an eye out.
Right over, dark side, copy for the traffic. Thank you very much. Horizon Air 2019, good night.
Take care. Flare 206 Edmonton, the wind 020, 23, gust 33, clear to land, runway 17 left. Correction, runway 35 left.
Clear to land 35 left for Flare 206, thank you.
WestJet 514 Edmonton, turn left, direct Hempo on course.
Hempo on course, WestJet 514.
Looks like Air Canada 812 just pushed. If he wants to get some ATC, he's got to get going. I'm getting ready to pull the plug here. Not much is happening. We got one guy here. He's inbound to Calgary. I'm not staying this North Caribou. No way. He's not going to be landing in Calgary till almost 3 Zulu. No, that's not going to happen. Unfortunately. Wish I could stay and give ATC to everyone forever, but I just can't do it. Oh, man. Need to eat a little something and get ready for bed. Getting hungry. I have not eaten enough today either. Now WestJet 519er, continue climb flight level 340.
Continue climb flight level 340, WestJet 519er.
WestJet 514, climb flight level 280.
280, WestJet 514.
Okay, Air Canada 812 push. So I'm going to get him airborne, turned on course, and then I'm going to pull the plug and go to bed. I would say I've done my due diligence. I've streamed for 3 hours and 7 minutes now. I provided a lot of ATC. It was kind of quiet for a while, but boy, did it make a comeback again. Lots of airplanes. But it's time to pull the plug. I've done enough. Looks like that FNO is rocking out, though. Lots of airplanes flying in and around Hawaii. Does that say 19 airplanes on the ground at Honolulu? Holy jeez, that's a lot. These guys have lots of clearance for crime in here. This guy is going to go into Seattle, I believe. Yeah, he's going to go to Seattle, so I can hand him off at least to Seattle Center. So one person's going to get handed off with continuous ATC. Not too many other people. There's Flare 206 on the ground. Flare 206 Edmonton, welcome to Calgary. If you want, you can roll all the way down to Charlie 4.
Roger, yeah, we'll roll down to Charlie 4 for Flare 2086.
Flare 206, do you know which gate you're going to?
Yeah, we'll take gate 34, please.
Flare 206, roger. Exit on Charlie... Actually, let's make it even easier on you here. Exit on Charlie 6, and then taxi in at Hotel Delta.
Charlie 6, then Hotel Delta for Flare 206.
WestJet 514, climb flight level 380.
380, WestJet 514.
Edmonton Center, Air Canada 812 Heavy, ready for taxi.
Air Canada 812, Edmonton. Information is Foxtrot, the altimeter 29905, runway 30, taxi out Alpha Charlie Alpha.
We have Foxtrot and runway 30, Alpha Charlie Alpha, Air Canada 812 Heavy, thanks.
And Tom GT, evening, didn't realize the streaming. No worries. Even just having the ATC. It's nice to have you there, enjoying the ATC. And yeah. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. And yeah, I'm just about to wrap it up here. I have been awake for 20 hours now. I've been online for, actually, sorry, it's been 19 hours now. I've been online for 3 hours. My brain is starting to melt. So I'm going to get these last couple of guys handed off here. One guy handed off to Seattle, get this Air Canada 814 airborne turn on course, and or 812 turn on course, and I'm pulling the plug. Because it's been fun, and I really do enjoy doing these streams. I really do. But yeah, it's a long day with a bit of frustration in it. So yeah. Hopefully, I will be able to get these streams in a bit more regularly in the next couple of weeks. I should be able to mix some ATC streams in with my flying streams over the next couple of weeks. I would expect probably next weekend, I'll probably be able to get another ATC stream in. Let's see here. While Nomad Aviator is flying home from Calgary, I will probably be sitting here doing some ATC streaming during the day next Saturday. So I don't think we'll do Edmonton Center, but we'll do something else. Because I got to sort of spread myself around a little bit. I haven't done enough controlling, so I'm kind of almost out of currency in a whole bunch of places all at once. Really? And then the really loud ads? You stupid ads on my phone. I'm just trying to pull up one app to see my currency here, and instead I get super loud ads. I think a lot of my stuff expired. I did not log on much in the last month. All right, so there's that one. Actually, not too bad. Most of them actually I don't think are expired right now. Let's just see here. Okay, he's just in the trying to make that turn. And this big ass airplane, that guy's stuck there. I don't even care because there's nobody else around. Yeah, have a good weekend as well. Hope you get to spend it doing something you enjoy. I will be working. Yeah, at least I enjoy flying airplanes. Just want to see this guy turned on course. Get this guy going. Come on, start taxiing. Come on. Get your giant 330 taxiing. Must be X-Plane flying the 330. Or maybe it's the Aerosoft 330. I know they say it's getting kind of close to release sometime in the next month or two, I think. Hopefully. It'll be a good one, but we need pause, top, and drop for these to be practical. And just, I don't know, Microsoft Flight Simulator has a tough time with being online for like 8 hours. So occasionally it'll work, but more often than not, I find like after several hours, the performance starts to drop, the frame rate starts to drop. The whole thing gets bogged down. WestJet 519er Edmonton, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Vancouver Center is no longer online. You can switch to the honored frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Roger. Switching to Unicom. Thanks a lot for your control and have a good night. WestJet 519er. See you soon.
Good night. Come on, Air Canada. You can do it. Get that giant beast moving. I can just hear the 330 engines now. And they are beastie sounding engines.
Hey, this is Flare 218. I think my landing gear is damaged because of that Ryanair style landing I did, so I'm just going to disconnect since I cannot move this thing anymore, so thanks for your service, though.
Player 206, no problem. Have yourself a good night, and we'll see you next time.
You too, have a good night.
All right, now he's got it moving at least. All right, let's see what we got here. We got Golf in Edmonton, Foxtrot in Fort Mac, Foxtrot in Calgary, Foxtrot in Yellowknife. Air Canada 7771, contact Seattle Center now, 135.45. Have a good night.
3545, we'll see you next time, Air Canada 7771. Good night.
Good night. All right. One last departure out of Edmonton. Let's get the winds up for Edmonton. Come on. Come on. You gotta taxi a little faster. You're killing me here. Not gonna be able to deal with this. You're killing me here. One airplane. I just want to get him airborne and then get out of here. And he just won't go. I just want to get behind him and just start pushing. Oh, man. Can I just do an intersection departure with your heavy aircraft? No? No? I tried. Come on. You can do it. I was kind of hoping to log off before this North Caribou tried to call me. I hate to be that guy, but I can't stick around for another 30 minutes. This guy's not going to be on the ground until 2:45, 2:50. I can't stick around that long. Come on, Air Canada. You can do it. Oh my God, this is painful. It doesn't help that he has a taxi all the way to 30 either. But I guess there's construction on 20. They're doing some paving in the threshold of 20, so easier for me to just be on a 30 cycle. Sunday afternoon drive. It's like Friday night. You should drive it like you stole it. Giver. Oh my God, you're just killing me here. Just killing me. Come on. Today, while we're young. Not much happening anywhere else. Could probably start closing up some of this stuff here. Probably close this one because nothing happened up here at all. It's weird, like I didn't get any overflights at all. Like normally you get a few overflights. Normally that's most of what you deal with in the Edmonton Center is overflights from Europe going across to like the western US. Or maybe from the eastern US up to like Alaska. You get those kind of things, but nothing. No overflights. Oh, there's one guy here. If I was a D-bag, I'd make him contact me there. I'm not though. Because that was the guy who spawned in right here after he thought he left my airspace. Little does he know he's back in it. If I was that kind of vindictive guy, I might just poke him. Because I don't even have a flight plan file on the network. Not going to bother with it. Oh my God, he's almost there. Come on. Come on. You're killing me here, Air Canada. Air Canada 812 Edmonton. The wind's light and variable. Contact me once you're airborne. Clear for takeoff. Runway 30.
Contact you once airborne and clear for takeoff from runway 30, Air Canada 812 Heavy, thanks.
All right. Just tail slide it right around the corner there. Just pull the parking brake. Tail slide onto the runway and just give her. I'm going to close up Calgary. Even if somebody spawns at this point, I'm just going to tell them to stay on Unicom. All right. Oh, he's not even lined up yet. Come on. Do it. Do it. You're killing me here, Canada. You're killing me. Let's get going. I want to turn you on course, climb you to cruise, and log off. Because I am tired. I really am. And I don't need it. I don't need more coffee. I need to get ready for bed. Get that big hunk of junk moving. There he goes. Thank you. Interesting story. It's been a fun stream, but I've just got to go to bed here. So get this guy going. And I hate to abandon people when they're close to getting airborne. Like I'm a relentless giver on this network. If I could spend 8 hours a day on this network, I would. I have other things to do in my life, but I would. If I could, I would. I'd be happy to control airplanes for that long. If there were airplanes still coming, I would still do it.
Edmonton Center, Canada 812 Heavy is airborne passing 3,900 feet.
Air Canada 812 Heavy, Edmonton, thank you very much. Identified, climb 16,000.
Climb 16,000, Air Canada 812 Heavy.
Air Canada 812 Heavy, turn right, direct Riley on course.
Right, direct Riley on course, Air Canada 812 Heavy.
WestJet 514 Edmonton, we're going to be closing down now, so switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Vancouver's not online either. Have yourself a good rest of the night. We'll see you next time.
Over to Unicom. Thank you so much for your service tonight. Have a good one.
And Air Canada 812 Heavy, now that you're turning on course, you can switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Switch to the on-route frequency, and thank you for the service, Air Canada 812 Heavy. See you next time.
Take care. And if anybody else is still on frequency, Edmonton Center is now closed. Switch to the en route frequencies. All right. And disconnect, and I'm done. Goodbye, airplanes. Goodbye, Twitch. Goodbye, audience. Thank you so much for watching, though. I do appreciate it. Just feel very tired, so I'm going to bail and go to bed. But I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something along the way. And thank you to everyone who participated in the conversation as well. That just made it that much more interesting when the planes were not providing as much interest. So stick with me on Twitch and YouTube as always. And I will do my best to have some more streams coming up this week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Happy long weekend, everybody. Good night.